Welcome to Firebirds Stadium for tonight's OHSAA Division I Region 4 matchup between the Lakota West Firebirds and the Milford Eagles. I'm Brent Phelan along with
Dan Zebrink.
And we'll be calling the game for you tonight. Dan, tell us a little bit about what you expect for tonight.
Well, I would expect, if you were Vegas and you were putting the odds down this game, I'm expecting a couple touchdowns or 3 touchdowns. Based on what I've seen, the common opponent that I'm aware of is East. East in the second game of the season beat them 34-zip. West pretty much beat East by the same score. So on paper, you would expect West to win this game going away. Although this is the playoffs, you never know. That's why they play the games. And East got beat by a team they beat in the regular season in Sycamore last week, 19-zip. So you never know.
And actually, just interestingly enough, one of Milford's 4 losses this season was to Lebanon, 24-20, who they turned around in the first round of playoffs last week and beat 21-7.
So, yeah.
So they do have familiarity with playing somebody that lost in the regular season and winning, but I don't think Lakota West is Lebanon.
I'm not sure 100% who's going to win this game. All I know, Brent, is tomorrow for one of these teams, it's equipment turn-in day. So the season will come to an end tonight for one of these teams, and one will move on to meet the winner of St. X and whoever they beat tonight. So should be an interesting night. Milford, coached by Tom Grippa, fine coach. He's been Elder, went to Fairfield, turned that program around for a number of years, and then went to LaSalle and kind of turned them into the powerhouse they are today. And now he's at Milford, and Milford's had a pretty good run of things for the last couple of years, so I would not overlook them. They're well coached.
So here we go. Milford will be kicking off in the white jerseys and red pants, and Lakota West will be receiving and with the, there you go, a squib kick. Picked up very cleanly by Lakota West, advanced near midfield. So not what you want, right? If you're Milford,
No.
You're the prohibitive underdog, and you kick the ball off and allow Lakota West to start with the ball at midfield.
The 45-yard line, 40-yard line. And good job by West. I couldn't quite see who picked that up, but great job. He just picked it up and went straight ahead and got as much yards as he could. So he did a nice job. I didn't see his number, with the black on the red. It's a little tough from up here, but anyway, he did a good job. Whoever recovered that and took it upfield, picked up 20 yards.
So here we go. Lakota West will start with the ball at midfield. Mitch Bolden at quarterback in the shotgun. Take the snap. He's going to actually go back to pass early. Going to throw the ball deep. He's got a couple receivers open deep.
Wow.
Looks like it's caught. It's dragged down. It looks like at the 1-yard line. I believe that's number 3 for Lakota West. Take a quick look there. I'm sorry.
9.
It's number 9, so I apologize. Malik Hartford. I did that to Malik once earlier this year, right, where I wasn't sure if 8 or 9 made a play. Here I go again. I thought maybe it's a 3, and it certainly didn't look like number 3. So
old eyes, and it doesn't make it easier. Those black jerseys with red numbers at night, it's a little tough to figure out who that is.
So first and goal from the 1-yard line. Bolden's going to hand the ball out. Flag thrown. It's going to be a false start on Lakota West. So it'll be first and goal from the 6-yard line. So make it a little bit more challenging for them. Interestingly enough, there we're seeing Malik Hartford. We haven't seen him on offense this year very much, if at all.
Saw him there.
But we sure have seen a lot of players for Lakota West play both sides of the ball.
And he came off that great. It was just a skinny post right down the middle, beat the safety and the corner on deep. So corners got deep third on that. Looks like Milford's playing a 43 standard defense. And, generally that comes with a cover, too. So there should have been a safety over there, but Malik ran just right by him.
Yeah, so here's, you see there, number 7. That's
Bolden.
Mitch Bolden. He's going to throw the ball again. Zips it hard and toss. It was a tipped ball for the touchdown. Nice grab. It's Trent Lloyd, number 4 for Lakota West. We saw Trent with a lot of big plays last week and starts this one off very early. And Mitch Bolden starts off very early, right? From a 49-yard pass and here a 6-yard touchdown.
In passing already in two passes with a touchdown. So a pretty good start from Mitch. And another good play by Lloyd. He's turned out to be the Wes Welker, Danny, Amandella of Lakota. He's kind of always in the right spot, always open. He's not real big, real fast, but he finds an opening, and he's very effective as a receiver.
And he's very powerful, and rarely goes down with the first tackle.
Right.
We see the kick up and good. That's Hannah Duncan.
All right.
So
Hannah.
with 10:53 to go here in the first quarter, Lakota West on the board that quick. and leads Milford 7-0.
And Hannah continuing to add on to her record of, a woman score the most, points scored by a woman in Lakota football history. She adds to it every week, and she's doing a great job. Which is there. She just drilled it right down the middle.
So Lakota West, here we are in week 12, but actually they are 9-1 because they didn't play Middletown this year, so they missed a game. GMC champions. They lost just the opener to St. X and really rolled throughout the rest of the season to get to this point.
I don't think anybody's actually challenged them since X, have they? I mean, they went to West Claremont, who they played again last week, and they rolled those guys by 40 points. And I don't know if anybody in the GMC really challenged them this year.
They had a couple matchups look weird. Like, Lakota East should have been 3-0 West.
Right.
And then West scored at halftime, and next thing you know, the route was on.
Again. Yeah, that's true. And, I think Coleraine was not exactly a blowout. It was a close enough game. But still, I don't think they were really challenged in that game.
So Tyler Bond with the kick for Lakota West. Good return effort here from Milford. He's going to carry it out past the 20-yard line. It looks like about the 27.
Right.
See if we can check that out there. But pretty solid return. But again, Lakota West started at the 50, and Milford's going to have to start at their own 22. So from the Milford side, we also saw they are 7-4 on the year, 5-3 in the Eastern Cincinnati Conference.
Well, they've got a tough thing here, Brent, and that is they're playing a very good defensive team here, and this is going to be really important to see how Milford, if they can move the ball here, because if they can go down and answer here, then we got us a ball game. But if West stuffs them in 3 plays and forces them to punt, that may be a problem for Milford.
So they do have a pretty balanced offense. You're going to see number 9, Austin Harden at quarterback. Austin threw for over 1,400 yards, and on the team also ran for over 1,700 yards. So some solid balance there. He pretty quickly scrambled out of the back to pass, scrambled for about a gain of 5 or 6. So it'll be 2nd and 5 for Milford.
A nice play for Milford. Nice start. I mean, we always talk about being on schedule, and Milford with a 5-yard gain is right on schedule.
Here we go. It's one of those look at me where they come to the line of scrimmage as if they're going to run it, and then see what happens and get the play called in. Here we go. Looks like he's going to run the ball to the left side this time. Another solid gain. He's going to be up just short of the first down.
I don't think he was one of their top 3 runners, was he?
He was not. He's not. That's number 9, Austin Harden. With the carry, he's going to make it a 3rd and 1. This season, from a rushing perspective, he was the 4th leading rusher at negative 63 yards.
That's a problem.
Obviously, in high school, his sacks are counting, or they're counting it, I would assume, against the run.
That has to be it, because looks like a pretty decent runner. He doesn't look like a tremendous amount of speed, but he's a good, solid, good size. And he's moving the pile forward when he runs.
So big play here, 3rd and 1. They're going to finally hand the ball up the middle. He's grabbed behind the line of scrimmage, but I believe and it looks like the mark.
It's going to be a first down.
It's going to be a first down for the Milford Eagles.
So, Milford comes out moving the ball right off the bat. 2 quarterback runs for about 9.5 yards and fullback dive for about a half a yard.
And that's number 8, Natwan Webster, who is the leading rusher with 132 carries for 755 yards this year. So that'll be a 1st and 10 for Milford at the 34-yard line. Looks like a little confusion from Lakota West here on the outside. There's trips left and 1 high. Here we go, back to pass again. Going to run a slant from the 1 high, and it's completed for a gain of about 8 yards. So
they're right on the schedule.
Yeah, nice successful play there. That's number 4, the receiver, and that is Luke Ray. Luke is one of the top 3 receivers for their team this year. He had 21 catches on the season for 272 yards.
Just an unstoppable play. I think in high school football is that slant. It's very difficult to defend that.
Here we go again. We're going to run kind of the
screen
tunnel or the bubble screen. And, gains about 4 yards, which is enough for the first down. 1st and 10 Milford from the 45-yard line. So I tell you, you mentioned on schedule, they've had success every play, right? Even the short yardage plays have been enough for the first down.
They hit David Reese there for a little inside slot where he got the bubble screen, picks up first down.
So we're going to see this again. Looks like we're going, nope. Guess we're not going to go to the replay. We're going to see the 1st and 10 play. So 1 back and 3 left and 1 high. See what he did? There's a hand off to Webster right up the middle. Not much there at all. A little bit of help from his offensive line to maybe help him get to a 2-yard gain instead of just a 1. Natwan Webster.
Ran right into the teeth of that defense, which is a really, really good defense. All over, the play calling is pretty good right now. It's keeping that defense kind of on their heels. They don't know what's coming, so they're throwing screens and run quarterback draws and run quarterback sweeps. And, I mean, it's all stuff I don't think they expected. And they've got the West defense a little bit on their heels.
Yeah, the really quick passes, right? So not a whole lot. There we go again. They're going to throw it out to number 7. Doesn't catch
Reese
it, but
Davis
even if he had, Reese Davis there, who is their leading receiver with 48 catches, 532 yards and 5 touchdowns.
He might have lost yardage on that had he actually caught it.
You know, and absolutely
was coming up like the guy stole his last hot dog. He wanted it bad.
So even had he caught it, he had a knee down when he was making a play on the ball, so
right.
He would have been down. Makes it 3rd and 8 from the 47-yard line.
Yeah, like I said, that might have saved his life. Afari was coming in there hard. The Kentucky signee was going to hit him and probably for a loss, if not separate the ball from him.
And, number 2, Alex Afari, one of 3 4-star recruits in the defensive secondary for Lakota West. Here we go, a little bit more of a traditional pass. Took a little bit longer, and the defensive line made him pay.
There is the negative yardage you spoke about. That's another 6-yard loss. So it's going to bring up 4th in a long time, so they're going to have to punt. But, Milford came out, got 2 first downs, allowed their defense to stay off the field. And that's the only way they're going to beat West.
So that'll be a loss on the play. It'll be 4th and 14. It looked like number 90, Elijah Davis, and number 99, Brian Henderson, were both involved in the sack.
What a surprise. They spend a lot of time back there, don't they?
But the first time they actually went back and took a little time to throw it, not a quick pass.
And they paid the price.
And they were a little off schedule because of that incomplete pass.
Yep, and they were 3rd and 10.
So here we go with the punt. He does get it away, but doesn't go very far. Goes out of bounds. Looks like Lakota West will start about their own 42-yard line. 41, I think, is the spot. So with 6:41 to go, Lakota West leads Milford 7-0.
About a 19-yard net punt, Brent.
And we'll have a 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line. So not quite the 50-yard line they had the first time.
No, but actually they didn't really need it after that long 60-yard pass to start the game.
But I think if you start the ball at the outside your own 40-yard line, good things are going to happen, especially when you are the better team.
Yes. So Wes, I wonder if they're just going to put a good steady dose of Cameron Goody here, and try and pound the ball into Milford.
So here we go. He's going to run the ball. Nice little hesitation there, and just nothing really there. A good job by number 71 for Milford. I mean, we had some hesitation in the backfield and nowhere to go. And William Riesenberg, a 5'11", 200-pound junior, with the tackle for maybe a half-yard gain. So 2nd and 9 for Lakota West.
Well, that's one of those 4-down linemen. If he's only 200 pounds, that's not much size up front. And against the size of the offensive line of Lakota West.
Well, and you can just see that. Look at the size of the defensive line of Lakota West, and then when you look out at the defense of Milford, there is definitely a significant difference.
The O-line is significantly bigger. They should be just pounding it at them, I'm guessing, but which will come out in the 4th quarter.
So 4 receivers out. Quick throw to Lloyd. Nice connection for about 7 yards. So it'll be somewhere around 3rd and 2 or 3 for Lakota West. See where they finalize that spot. But a nice quick pass from Bolden to Trent Lloyd.
Yeah, nice play by the DB making the play, too. An open field tackle right there comes down and stops him getting the first down. And that was a nice job by him in the open field making that tackle.
So big play here. 3rd and 3 for Lakota West. And a couple of nice plays, as you said, defensively from Milford. So see if they can make that count. A little bit high on the snap. Looks like Bolden is going to try to follow good.
I don't think he's going to get it.
You know what? He advanced it just to the short of the 50-yard line, which means it's going to be 4th and a full yard.
With your defense, I'm sure Bolden is Tom is kind of tempted to go for it here, but why? I mean, you're up 7-0. You got a defense that's shutting them down. Looks like he's bringing in the jumbo package.
It looks like the jumbo package here on 4th and 1. You already have a size advantage. Now you add a couple people like Brian Henderson from the defensive line into the offense. We'll see what happens here. And that play was a little bit, timing got off. The snap was a little bit high. By the time Bolden brought it down, he couldn't really hand it or fake it, and he just followed good around the end. And here he did the same thing. Looks like it's going to be enough for the first down, but not much more than the 1 yard he needed.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get it by much.
But I guess, that's all he needed. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Lakota West in Milford territory here with 4:31 to go in the first quarter. So that was a successful play.
No,
the judge here on this side, who has the best angle of the whole play, looking at the markers, had already told him he'd already waved them down for a first down.
Yeah, they show first. Well, it was a first down one way or the other. Either first down Milford or first down West.
So there we go again. hey, 4 plays, and they got exactly 10 yards on that series so far for Lakota West. Here's Bolden going to hand it off to Good. He's going to try to go around the left side. Another nice tackle.
Wow, I'm surprised how well Milford's playing up front.
Good was able to lunge forward and get 2 yards on the play, but he was hit at the line of scrimmage again.
Mm-hmm.
So Milford is definitely, they're definitely game tonight. I mean, they are not.
Yeah, 71 Riesenberg in there again, playing a good game. Maybe he's just so quick, kind of the rest they can't quite get to him.
And the thing is, I mean, Milford saw the same film, read the same highlights. I mean, they know that nobody's expecting them to be a factor tonight, and maybe that's irritated them a little bit. So here's Bolden, no backs. He's going to go try to throw the ball again. He's going to throw it out to the wide side. I think that's number 1. Brown with the catch. It's going to be close to the first down.
Brown, their leading receiver, is going to be, he looks like he stepped out about a yard short, maybe 2.
Maybe 2. So it looks like 3rd and 2 from the 41-yard line of Milford. Another quick pass from Bolden. Bolden's been on the money tonight.
He has been. He's thrown the ball really well. Hit his receivers, went deep, hit that guy well on the long ball, and now he's thrown some short ones, doing well. And he's run the ball a little bit. He's the West offense right now.
So it looks like I think we have Hartford out here again on the on the near side. Again, we've got all the receivers, 3 one side, 2 the other, and Bolden's going to run it straight up the middle, and good powerful run for the first down. He's going to gain about 7.
Just a pure quarterback draw. You had Lloyd at the top of the screen, made it look like a screen. He just dropped off.
We'll see this again.
And look, you'll see him on top of the screen. He just drops back like it's going to be a screen, and then just Bolden takes it up the middle for a quarterback draw. That was a design play.
Yeah, nice job. And he did a good job. Probably held the secondary a little bit. He looked over at Lloyd,
right,
just enough to hold them. It didn't hold the defensive ends who were coming around.
Linebackers kind of looked to see if they needed to get out there and support.
But certainly they couldn't charge in to try to meet him in the hole. And and again, we've seen all year he's a good running back. He's a solid young man. He's back to pass. He is sliding up in the pocket a little bit. Throws it hard across the middle. Catch and a good, that's Alex Safari, the Kentucky commit, who gets another first down. Boy, that was a nice athletic play across the middle, right? A hesitation, and then he got the guy on his hip and was able to use the stiff arm.
But he's got so much time. I mean, he's not getting pressured at all. As you see the replay, there's no one close to him, and that can't be a design play. They had both the receivers in the same spot.
Hartford coming around the other way, but a nice stiff arm there right to the helmet by Afari and allowed him to advance another 10 yards.
Somebody ran the wrong play, because you don't have any play I've ever seen in my life designed where 2 receivers are in the same spot.
So 1st and 10 for Lakota West from the 16-yard line. Again, 5 receivers out. Bolden back to throw. I think he's got a catch around the 2-yard line.
Yeah,
and that's going to be Lloyd again.
Him.
Yeah, a little low and away, or low and
behind,
down.
But Lloyd did a good job stopping, making the catch,
get the hands
catch.
Under it. Give you the 1st and goal at the 2.
What great hands that Lloyd has! I mean, this is a tough play. He's running across the middle, and has to stop and come back and get a low catch on a cold night, and did it. I mean, that's a great play.
And the thing to note, while offensive line for Lakota West hasn't made a lot of holes on the running plays. I mean, there's 5 guys out in the quarterback, so their 5 guys are keeping Milford out of the play, and there's Bolden keeping it for the touchdown.
But good blocking there. I mean, there was no one even touched him on the goal line package for the touchdown. So they got in again. So it's 14-0. And the West defense playing well right now, Brent.
So we'll see this pretty quick here. You're going to see Bolden look and then advance it to the left, and nice pull.
Wow.
And number 73 there with a really nice block. That's Lathan McCumus.
And the left tackle just caved down the defensive line. I mean, if you saw that play again, they just caved down that line.
So here's Tyler Bond to kick. Snap, hold, kick.
Good.
It's up and good, so that does make it 14-0 with 2:06 to go here in the first quarter. And Lakota West doing what they do all year. They switch kickers. Yep. We've seen 3 kickers in a game.
We have, and all of them made it. So I don't know how you pick it. They're all good kickers, and I think it comes down to Boyd and Duncan for the most part, but they do have a 3rd kicker that is more than capable. So a lot of good things to have. Now, Brent, have you seen anything that you surprised you so far?
To be honest, I saw some good effort from the Milford defense. Mm-hmm. I mean, that series, that first, right? I mean, They were fourth and 1, and they only got 1. So
barely stopped.
They almost stopped them out, near midfield. Lakota West was, again, I don't think they've thrown an incompletion.
No.
They haven't done a lot running the ball other than a couple of times there. The quarterback keeper, he's had a little bit of success there, but Good has not gotten off
to a start
much of a start.
I think the size of this offensive line, and come second half, you'll see a steady dose of Good. And my guess is they'll be up in the second half by a few points. So you're going to see a lot of running, and you'll see good piling up some yardage.
I think what we're also seeing is, while even though Lakota West has had 4 or 5 receivers most plays, the defense is really playing the run. That 43 defense, they do have to move somebody out, obviously, with 5 receivers. But now here we go. They're going to try at least fake something there. The kickoff. 37 is making a nice job on the return. That's Jackson Stickle. Jackson Stickle is the second leading return guy. He's 12 returns, but 299 yards, almost 25 yards of return. And, pretty close to that on this one, right? I mean, return the ball out past the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Grip is going to pull out all the stops, and you're going to see, even the baby carriage play or something here. I mean, anything to get through this, and he's got to do it. And I think there's a sense of desperation here. You're 14-0. You're against an extremely good team. You can't afford to get too far down, so they almost need to score something here.
Now, their offense, had some successes the last time around, so we'll see what happens here. They until they got off schedule, right? I mean, they finally had time where they had an incomplete pass.
They had a short run, incomplete pass, and they were, 3rd and 9.
So Harden back to pass, and boy, when he goes to a true drop back,
he's done.
In the old parlance, like the 5-step drop, there's just not any time there. I mean,
West is just getting in there on their D-line is just beating that offensive line. He's not giving you time. I mean, he had less than 2 seconds before
and that looked like Henderson coming from the outside there. But there was pressure throughout. I mean, all he saw were black jerseys, I'm sure. So here he goes back to pass again. They're going to try to run the screen.
Which is a good answer to that kind of pressure. I mean, but, the linebacking court for West there made a good stop, or smelled it, saw it.
23, Aiden Miller, and 11, Jacob Asbeck, both were involved in that. And, the thing is, heck, for Lakota West defensive line, it's probably hard to know that it's a screen. I mean, they've been getting past them so quickly anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see the screen, but they did. Is that Aiden Miller?
Yeah, that was Aiden Miller.
Leading tackler for Lakota, just doing a great job there.
And that's how it's supposed to work, right? The 4 linemen get pressure, so the quarterback has to throw it, and the linebacker is just sitting there waiting.
Linebackers are in short zone, and you're right, they're there for the screen or anything short.
So here you go, 3rd and 15. I mean, I don't know how many tricks or rabbits you can try to pull out of the hat, but I think you need to do something.
He needs it here.
They're just going to throw it up for one-on-one grab, and nice defensive play. It looked like that was Josh Fusel with the deflection.
Yes.
Didn't get perfect timing on that, but he still got a full hand on it, tipped the ball, and as you can see, the safety coming over to help as well. So had a play on it, but a really nice stretch and play from Fusel there to knock the ball away. And
the one thing you don't want to do, Brent, or have to do is throw on this team. The strength of this defense is obviously those 4 defensive backs. They're all Division I players. They're all very good. And I don't think I'd want to throw into them. If I was throwing, I'd be throwing screens and stuff out in the flat and see if they can't beat somebody. But they're going to have a hard time throwing downfield against that defense.
So 4th and 15 from their own 25-yard line. Line drive punt away. They had 2 guys over there. Lloyd makes a nice catch, although right on the sideline, goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10, Lakota West.
Very dangerous.
14-0 lead for Lakota West. 33 seconds to go in the first quarter.
There's a good look at Lloyd. He brought that ball in on the sideline, but good football player there.
Well,
he just looks like a football player.
And we certainly know he's got the hands. So, Lakota West has had some bobbles and muffs and everything else on the punt return game this year, but we haven't seen Lloyd back there. They had the double safeties. For those of you in old school, right, there was 2 guys returning it, which you try to keep the ball from hitting the ground and rolling by doing that.
And when it's cold like this, you want sure hands, and they certainly have that with Lloyd.
May or may not be as explosive as Brown back there, but he sure has the hands. So here we go.
Nice shot of Tom Grip on the sideline there, and he's got to be concerned, especially now, as the running game's going to get on track. That's a bad sign for the Milford Eagles.
So that is Cam Good with a gain of about 12 or 13 yards for the first down for Lakota West, already into Milford territory at the Milford 47-yard line. Yep. 20 seconds to go in the quarter. We'll see if Lakota West does run a play or not. Looks like they definitely will.
Yeah, so Milford, they don't want to see it. Milford has done a good job stopping a run, and if that starts to go away, they're in trouble.
So here we go. Handoff again up to middle. It's going to have a gain of about 3 yards as the quarter comes to an end. So from Firebird Stadium, at the end of one quarter, it's Lakota West 14 and the Milford Eagles nothing. We'll be right back. So welcome back to Lakota West High School, Firebird Stadium, where after one quarter of the second round of the Division I Region 4 playoffs, Lakota West 14 and Milford 0. Dan, what have we seen so far, and what did we expect?
Well, we've seen Milford try and stop Lakota West's offense, and they can't. The passing game is very effective right now. I mean, Mitch Bolden having a great game. As you said, I don't think he had an incompletion. So I think Milford put everything up front to try and stop this West team, and they said, okay, fine, we're going to throw the football over top of you, and they're doing a great job doing it. I mean, the first play was a 60-yard bomb that got them down to the 1-yard line, and then they scored from there. And Milford's been, stopping and run pretty well, but they haven't done much against the pass.
So 2nd and 7 for Lakota West from the Milford 44-yard line. Number 7, Mitch Bolden, back to throw again. Does a quick throw, and it was actually a little bit in front of, I think that was Lloyd again.
Yeah.
Very nice catch again.
For a very, very short gain.
Yeah, the throw was a little off. He was looking for it kind of behind him so he could spin, and it was toward the defender.
Well, there was a lot of pressure on them. They came from the outside. They made a blitz on the outside linebacker there, and he was in Mitch Bolden's face when he tried to throw that. So that play didn't look good off the bat. Milford did a good job designing that and put him in a 3rd and long. I mean, nice job by the Milford defense there.
So it was marked with a 1-yard gain, 3rd and 6 for Lakota West.
Bolden brings him up. He's going to be under center. No,
he's got one. One back with him and 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. He's looking. Oh, I don't know that he held on to that one. I didn't know he did not. So there's, I think, the first incompletion. Mitch threw it a little bit too low. Lloyd was there on the slant. And it would have been enough for the first down, but the ball hit the ground. And you'll see.
And Lloyd's looking for a flag on this. I don't know if it did. I didn't really see where the contact was, but there was no.
That was a great effort, but it's going to make it a 4th and 6. Lakota West keeping the offense on the field. See what we do here with 11-12 to go in the second quarter.
Well, that's some confidence. Although you got confidence in your defense here, Milford really has not moved. They've gotten 2 first downs on one series, and that's it. They haven't had a first down since.
So play action. He's going to. Nice defensive play. Looks like they were trying for Lloyd again there. See what guy that is. It looks like number 25 for Milford.
25.
That's Rob Mickler, a linebacker. Really nice play. Got a hand in front of Lloyd, who would have been open for the first down.
Wow.
And really nice play.
Didn't interfere, nothing. Just came up, made a great play diving, and he's lucky because if he catches that, nobody behind him.
No, there was nobody there. So that will be a first turnover on downs, first down for Milford at their own 43, 44-yard line. So best starting spot for Milford so far. Yeah, 4 receivers out. Natwan Webster is going to try to run it around the left end, and there was just nothing there.
Yeah, it's a little tough to get to the outside on West. They've got such great team speed. As you saw there, as they ran kind of the equivalent of a jet sweep. And there was just no getting outside. Couldn't get the corner. West doing a great job maintaining contain. You shut that down.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Milford. And I'm not sure what the options are there, right? They try to run it around the outside. Well, that's pretty challenging. Hey, actually, the Lakota West looked like they might have come off sides, but apparently he didn't get into the neutral zone. The official shook his head no. Yeah. So with 5 seconds to go on the play clock.
If you see here to the bottom of the screen, West is playing pretty soft on the corners. Maybe some outside screen or something. Get it quick outside and one block and use them as a screen, and maybe you might be able to beat them or something. But right now, nothing else is working.
There's Webster up the middle again for no gain. It'll be 3rd and 10. And I mean, there were 2 or 3 Lakota West players at the time he even got by the time he took the ball, the handoff from the quarterback. And Webster's run for almost 6 yards a carry this year. I mean, over 750 yards on the season, and 5.7 yards, 7 touchdowns, and there's just nothing going there. We haven't seen number 2 at all running the ball. Now I don't know if he's in. He did eludes pressure, good effort. Still going to get sacked for about a 4-yard loss, but there's just nothing. I mean, right? He's just got no time.
No.
You can see there's Harden rolls to his right when that first look wasn't there. Kaufman and Henderson ran past him. But there's Aiden Miller, 23, with the sack. So
Aiden's all over the place and there to clean up after the D-line forces him up into the pocket.
So obviously we have a penalty here. We'll see what the call is. Looks like a defensive holding penalty. So we're going to
not a
move.
first down.
No, we're going to move the ball 10 yards from the last spot. So it's going to be about a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, we figured that out last week or 2 weeks ago when they got that call against East, and it was not enough for the first down. And everybody thought holding was an automatic first, and in the pros it is, but not in high school.
So here we go, 3rd and 4. They get a do-over with an advancement on that play. So a pretty beneficial play. And actually, I guess it's a 5-yard penalty, or it's from the spot. I'm not quite sure because we were 3rd and 10. Now we're 3rd and 4.
Look at that slot receiver. There's nobody on him.
So we'll see what happens here. There they flow over. He's just going to try to throw it deep and intercepted by Lakota West. I mean, they were just throwing it downfield. He's going to be dragged down.
They baited him into that. I mean, that slot receiver was wide open, and then the outside linebacker just kind of came over, and that's who intercepted the ball.
So we're going to see number 13, Ben Minnick, with the interception, but I don't know what we'll see. We see the quarterback Harden just throws it up for grab. Not a great spiral there. He didn't have a great grip on it. The receiver falls down. Minnick does not. Minnick continues, catches the ball around the 22 or 23-yard line, carrying a little bit like a loaf of bread there. And you can see Ben, who also plays some receiver for the team, advances it out past the 40-yard line, past the 50-yard line. Now we do have a penalty at the end of the play. See what happened here. So we're seeing this. It looks like we'll see what happens here. It looks like maybe Milford's going to get a.
Did they call pass interference on this?
An unsportsmanlike conduct on Lakota West.
Oh, wow.
So,
I didn't see anything. I don't know what, and that would have had to happen during the play.
It had to be before the interception because it's going to be a 1st and 10 for Lakota or for Milford from the 36-yard line. So I apologize.
So big penalties.
Wow, quarterback was just drilled. That's Kaufman, Owen Kaufman from the nose, just punished Austin Harden.
Yeah, he tried to throw and his arm didn't get up or threw it. I mean, he just got killed.
Ball didn't make it anywhere near the receiver here. You can just see there's
lucky it wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, just threw it hard. He was trying to throw the ball from behind his back a little bit there. With 8:47 to go here in the second quarter, we've got a little bit of stop and play. Not sure if we had a.
Kaufman might have been a little mad at that play call or that penalty call because he went in there right after quarterback about killed that guy.
We'll see what the official is doing here now. We've got some. Looks like a little bit of confusion.
So far, the best play for Milford's been the penalty.
Exactly. So
10-yard play, got them, 3rd down replay on that, and then right there they get a tough 15-yard penalty.
It's just odd. You don't normally see an unsportsmanlike
not
penalty live ball. Usually it's after a play.
Yes.
It's usually a dead ball call, but here we go. I don't know what that was all about, but with 8:55 to go, 2nd and 10. They're going to fake the screen left, and then they throw the screen to the right.
Wow.
I think that was Malik Hartford, number 9, came up like a missile. Actually, I think he took out the receiver and Elijah Davis. I think he took out his own man who was also involved in the play. See this again? They
meet at the quarterback, and then
boom, right through it and knocked him into Elijah Davis. So he took out 2 guys with the hit. His teammate. But that'll make it a loss of 1 on the play. Wow, what a play by Hartford. We now see why we see why he got his 4th star from the recruiting services. Here they go, as you said, the screen out to the side, 3rd and 11. Webster does make a nice gain out of it. He's going to make it to out of bounds. It's going to be 4th and maybe 3. We'll see exactly where they spot it. So a gain of about 7 or 8.
Yeah, Brent, I think that's about the only thing they're going to be able to do, Milford. They can't run the ball up the gut. They're just outmanned. They can't throw down the field because they're definitely outmanned there. So, hit a couple screens out there, get somebody, running back out into the flat, and maybe they can beat somebody.
So, unsurprisingly, with 4th and 4 from their own 30-yard line, they're leaving the offense on the field.
And hoping for a penalty.
Hope for something to happen here. So, I see number 9, Austin Harden, is the only guy, no backs with him. 2 receivers to the top, 3 to the bottom. Back, he's going to try to, you'd think, throw it quick, and there it is. Webster, the running back. Nice job. He had, the quarterback looked to the left. The running back came from the right side and was open in space, gain of about 8 or 9 yards. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Milford.
I don't know if he set up out
there. At the 19-yard line, and they're going right to the ball.
Yeah, he just ran an underneath route. Yeah. They cleared out, and nobody there. Yeah. Linebackers, Aiden Miller, 23. You shouldn't be covering him.
Wow. Quarterback thought he had some room here. That Milford went right to the line of scrimmage with 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. The quarterback thought he could scramble out, and he got hit hard for a loss of 1.
I'll tell you, West is bringing the wood, aren't they? They're hitting.
They are. They're definitely. And the thing is, you don't see so often around the line of scrimmage. They're hitting guys without. Usually, when you're doing that, there's somebody trying to block you.
Yeah.
You know, you can't get a running start to hit somebody.
But they are.
We're not seeing much of that here.
No.
It's guys coming without any impediment and
Well, I
laying
think
the
the
lumber.
defensive line is taking out the lineman from Milford, so there's nobody downfield blocking.
So here we go again. Harden throws the ball. Another nice completion. That's number 4. He's down to the goal 1 yard line. It's 2 yard line. Looks like it's going to be spotted. First and goal for Milford. That was a successful pass to Luke Ray, a 5'9", 170-pound junior wide receiver. Big play, right? Here they go. I mean, yeah, they got advantage of a couple penalties. They're first and goal at the 2. So
cut this thing in half.
7:06 to go. Lakota West up 14-0, but touchdown here and
you're right back in
right.
the game.
You're in it for at least one more series.
Yes.
So here we go.
Something left in the half, so you got plenty of time.
Here's that number 2 we talked to. Now it's kind of interesting. I was saying that earlier that I hadn't seen number 2 running the ball. I wasn't overly familiar with them, but on the season he has 70 carries for 583 yards, but 18 touchdowns.
Wow, so he comes in on
the Wildcat, as they common parlance today. He did advance it from the 2 to the 1, so it is second and goal from the 1 yard line.
And he is staying in at quarterback.
See what they do here. Looks like a pretty good-sized young man. We'll see what he's listed at. Looks like 6'2", 245.
I don't know if he can throw or not, but I don't think he's even going to attempt it. He's just going to run. He's not going to get there.
Still not going to get there. Yeah, he's, again, 6'2", 245, one of the bigger players we're seeing out there for Milford, and they've 2 carries from the 2 yard line. He's just barely inside the 1. Third and goal. I mean, it looks like this must be they've done quite a bit, right? 18 rushing touchdowns for number 2, and that's Tofa Luani.
It looks like how they get to score their touchdowns inside, in the red zone. And they're doing it now here. I'm a little surprised they haven't tried to run him outside like in an option look. And that way, thin out that defense because they're not going to get it over that West defensive line. They're controlling the line of scrimmage.
So it looks like they're going to try it again here. They still a yard short of the end zone. We'll see what Tofa does here. He's just going to run it to the right side a little bit. He still short.
Yeah.
4th and about a half.
And I think you got to go for it here, don't you?
I mean, so he's run it 3 times. He's actually moved forward each time. I mean, as funny as it sounds, he started at the 2 yard line. He made it to the 1, just inside the 1. Now he's to the half. If you look at it on the thing, it's darn close. He was able. This is the first time he was able to go one direction and then make a move back.
Right.
And that's how he got about a half an extra yard there after the first hit. So here you go again. Big play for Milford. 4th and goal from the 1 inside the 1 yard line. Tofa Luani is back there. He's going to take the snap. He's going to try to run to the left. Big hole, and he's going to have it. Obviously Lakota West was thinking that he'd run up the middle again. He ran a little bit outside, and what's interesting, it looked like it was easy. He only made it about a yard in.
He did. I mean, they closed down pretty quickly. I mean, again, West defense is fast.
And there's where you might think that's a hold on Asbeck.
It could have been. And the corner came in and made a big hit on him. You're right. He only got in by
and it's the safety, Malik Hartford. The ball did come loose after that hit, but he was already past the goal line according to the officials. So touchdown Milford Eagles with 4:48 to go in the second quarter. Huge.
So we got us a game, Brent. I mean, it's 14-7, or will be, pending the extra point here, where Milford has just kind of cut into this lead and made a game. I mean, that was a nice drive, aided obviously by penalties. I mean, 25 of the yards were all on penalties, and they were at times when it was critical because it got them first downs or redos or whatever. West stopped them twice.
But they had the nice screen to the left side for about 8 that made him into manageable. They had a couple passes where they brought the guy from the right side but underneath, and a couple successful plays there. Plays that allow the quarterback to get rid of the ball quick.
Right, which he has to do. He has no time.
That's what he has to do. So, and you know what? I mean, it may have taken him 4 plays to get him from the 2, but it's still a touchdown.
It's 7. No one ever asked how many it took. They just look at the score, and right now it's 14, 7, and if they make this extra point or convert.
So there must be some issue because they took a timeout, and they actually have a snapper and holder practicing over on the sideline during the timeout. So I don't know if somebody got hurt who would be normally part of that process, or maybe it's just warming up because you don't normally take a timeout and do that in order to do it. So I'm curious if perhaps we've got our second snapper or something. Because obviously before the game you work on this a few times.
Few thousand.
So here we go. It looks like, see who's kicking, spot down, kick up, and the kick is good. So it looked like that is number 9, Austin Harden, the quarterback, was also the kicker.
Okay.
So something to think about later, because that certainly allows some flexibility if you need to on an extra point.
Or something, 2-point conversion.
So with 4:48 to go in the second quarter, Lakota West 14 and the Milford Eagles 7.
So West is in the game, Brent. I mean, I wasn't quite expecting this. I was expecting kind of a 21-0 halftime score. But it looks like they're in a game now. Is Milford was able to take advantage of those penalties and get down and get a score. With they did leave a lot of time for West to go down and get a score and maybe make it 21-7. But right now, if you're Milford, you got to find or you got to feel pretty good about where you're at.
So what do you do? Do you onside kick? Do you try to do anything special here? Remember, you tried to squib the first one, and that was not successful at all.
I would try and drill one of the up guys with a hard, try and kick it at him at about 100 miles an hour, see if you can get something to carry him and bounce off of him, and then maybe get the, the onside recovery because you got to pull it out. I mean, your Milford man for man is not as good as West.
Right.
So you can't just play straight football here, or you're going to get beat.
So the last time, though, the defense did stop Lakota West on a fourth down, and it wasn't a poor play by Lakota West. It was a really nice defensive play.
Hell of a play by 25, or heck, sorry to the truck for going to the cuss book. But anyway, it was a heck of a play by 25, getting over and knocking that ball away on 4th and 6.
So number 80, Max Crawford, is kicking. And I'm wondering if he was a keeper. Perhaps the quarterback was the holder. There he goes. Afari, number 2, is going to grab the ball, return it from Lakota West. Here he is, past the 20, past the 25. Stiff arm, still on his feet, still out past midfield.
Wow.
3 flags back there. It looked like, this is like the thing we used to talk about with the wide receiver on the stock block, that if you wait so long to get there, you almost get forced to hold. I think one of the Lakota West players
was holding
on the left side was waiting for that return to come all the way around from the right side where he caught it. And
every once in a while you'll get a guy turn, you get a clipping call or something too, blocking the back, and it really isn't. He engaged him in the front, and the defender turns around, but if the official doesn't see that, and they call a block in the back.
So here we go. It is a hold called right around the 32-yard line. So Lakota West should start around their own 22-yard line after a really nice return by Alex Afari out past midfield.
Yep.
But looks like they're actually going to spot it at 33. We're going to see this. So after Afari goes almost all the way to the numbers on the right side near the 10, when he brings it back, you're going to see something right there.
Right there.
So there's the play right there, and they're going to call that a hold.
He either tackled him or I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but Mitch Bolden is back to take the snap. Lloyd comes around in the jet sweep, but Bolden holds on to it, runs it up the middle. Going to be a nice run, about 15 yards for Mitch Bolden. Spot it for a gain of about 14.
Right now it's 14. Mitch Bolden 14, Milford 7. I mean, Bolden's doing everything. He's throwing the ball well. He's running the ball well.
We're going to see the play real quick here. That replay, he fakes the jet sweep to Lloyd and runs it right up the middle. Nice blocking this time.
And Milford
Lakota West right to the line of scrimmage. They are going to go a little bit wider there. We're going to see another flag. So the gain's going to be about 8 yards, 7 yards, but there is a couple penalties back there. You see one back by the quarterback, Bolden, and you're going to see one up there right near the line of scrimmage. I think we're going to have a hold on the right side again against Lakota West.
Wow. The penalties are killing Lakota West at this point. I mean, they'd be well ahead in this game if it wasn't for penalties. It's keeping Milford in the game.
So here comes number 2, Afari, into the offense. We see number 13, Minnick, in the offense, as we've talked earlier. So there it is somewhere here on the –
I don't see any hold there.
I don't see
anybody contact.
Right, I don't see anybody who could have been holding near the line of scrimmage.
No.
But 2 flags were thrown, so obviously something was going on. If anything, it looked like perhaps a block to the back, but
Milford
wasn't what they
in
called.
Full retreat up front. I mean, there was nobody holding anybody. You couldn't have. They were running away from them.
So 1st and 10 now from their own 26-yard line. Moving the wrong direction a little bit here for Lakota West. There's Bolden with the pump fake, and he sees Alex Afari wide open off his hands.
Was that a missed opportunity there?
So nice pump fake from Mitch Bolden off the hands of Afari. One side says, boy, you could have put a little more air under it and let him run under it. But that ball was head high in his hands.
Yeah. He hit him in a bad place right in the hands.
You got to catch it. And perhaps that's why. And
he's a DB.
That he's recruited as an athlete, but most likely as a defensive back.
Yeah.
At this point, although he may grow into like that rover or joker or whatever they call it, kind of that tweener.
He should have caught that football. That ball was put in a position where he can catch it. And it's a shame because that was touchdown.
Yeah, so that's it'll be 3:54 to go here in the second quarter. Lakota West 14 and the Milford Eagles 7. Timeout Lakota West with a 2nd and 20 from their own 26-yard line. So
yeah, my guess is you're going to try and run something underneath here, Brent, to get into third and manageable.
Well, we've seen a lot with Trent Lloyd where he has caught the ball with, only a few yards downfield, but he's made a couple people miss, run through a couple arm tackles, and advanced it either for the first down or at least
yes, and he's been
10,
very
12
effective
yards.
kind of coming from the slot position down the middle. He's had a couple touchdowns against East that way where he got from the slot, ran right down the middle, and was open in between the two safeties. And I'd look for that here.
Now, the other thing we've seen Malik Hartford run past everybody. We've seen Alex Safari run past everybody.
And Brown is certainly
we know he can run past everybody.
He can run by all of them.
So with that in mind, that's the other thing. It's Lakota West has had open receivers.
Did you put three guys like that on the side? Just go deep. Everybody go deep.
I certainly think it's possible. We also
Somebody
see, Good is out there, so that's the other thing. Sometimes we'll see him,
They take Brown off the field.
Yeah, they got. Well, actually, this is the tightest formation that we've seen from Lakota West. They still do have four receivers, but it's slot right, slot left, and in the tight. So trying to make something happen to open up the middle a little bit. Nice throw and catch to Lloyd. It's exactly
right down the middle.
So exactly what we just talked about, right?
Yeah.
They just completed it to him for a gain of about 15. Which makes it 3rd and 5 at the 41-yard line.
Third and manageable, and that was it. You go to your Mr. Reliable, Lloyd.
No pressure at all. Bolden puts the ball on the money.
Well thrown ball.
And really a nice defensive play there, but Lloyd holds on without a problem.
Yes, and a good catch by Lloyd as he holds on to it, because that is tough. The guy hit him right away. As soon as he caught it, he got hit.
Well, when you're going across the middle that somebody's probably coming. So that's two really nice catches we've seen from Trent.
Trent's a great receiver, a good possession guy.
So Bolden fakes the pass, fakes the run, and just starts running.
Doesn't fake that run.
Yeah.
He picks up a first down.
Now it looks like there are a couple flags in the backfield again here. I'm guessing another holding call on Lakota West.
Wow.
I see Tegra, Cameron Good.
Man, by halftime, will Lakota have any toes left on their feet as they continue to shoot them off?
Yeah, and I tell you, Good looks like he's pretty upset with the call. I think it looked like he was signaling that the guy went down. He knocked him down. He just pushed him back down, which isn't holding, but a lot of the officials don't understand the rule. So you do see that called fairly regularly.
Oh, there's the hold, though. He's on the outside of his.
That sure looks like a hold from here.
That's a hold to me. That's a textbook hold. And then he tackled him. Yeah, that's a hold.
Yeah, I don't know why he was
I'm
very
not sure
upset there.
Upset about that.
Yeah, he had hands on both sides outside the frame.
That was a wrestling move. Coach Fesser would have been happy with that move.
I would say that's one that typically is going to be called.
That was a 2-point takedown.
So here we go
and a 10-yard penalty.
with 3:06 to go. Now we're back to about 3rd and, 16, 17. Bolden is back to pass. Looks like he steps up, might try to run the ball, but he's pulled down for actually a 1-yard loss. So it's going to be 4th and long. The Milford sideline is ecstatic. Their crowd.
They got to be.
They're pretty excited.
West continues to shoot itself in the foot. This is not Milford beating West. It's West beating itself with penalties. You can't do this.
So here you go. Only 4 guys rushing. You could see Bolden was just kind of leaking forward. They did have somebody spying him. Mm-hmm. Number 3 was there just to make sure he didn't run for too many yards. So, wow. So it's a tackle for a loss on the play. Lakota West is back to punt for the first time. 2:28 to go. Clock running.
Time.
With 4th down.
A couple more 15-yard penalties and a pass completion, they could be there.
So here we go, back to punt. He's going to punt. Good high kick. Fair catch called for at the 30. See where they spot around the 35-yard line of Milford. So 1st and 10 Milford, 2:14 to go, trailing by only 7 points.
Yeah, this is Milford. If you'd have told Tom Grippa at halftime you'll have the ball at 2:14 left and only down 7, I think he'd have taken that.
And guess what? Your wish is their command. Flag is thrown high in the air. I'm guessing it's going to be another 15 yards for an unsportsmanlike conduct on Lakota West.
Boy, I don't know where it is, but I don't know if the officials went to Milford. But every penalty has been against West.
But in fairness, that hold was a very solid call.
I would say Matt McIntyre in a state championship would have been happy with that takedown. That was definitely a hold.
So we're going to see what happened here, but there it is, the unsportsmanlike conduct call against Lakota West. So they're going to advance that ball past from the 40. It's going to be somewhere somewhere into Lakota West territory.
That's 45. That's 15-yarder. What happened on 35? It looks like, Brent. So that'll go to the 50.
Yeah, we'll see exactly where they. It looks like they're going to move to the 45. Yeah, that's what I said.
Wow.
The chains were a little bit out of kilter, so we weren't sure exactly where it was spotted. But there you go, 15 yards from their own 40 to the 40. So, wait, 2:14 to
Wow.
go. Let me recap. Down 7 points, 1st and 10 from Lakota West, 45-yard line. It's going to be interesting to see how Lakota West reacts to this because it has been on them. And you know what? As a player, it feels like the refs are taking it pro when they're all against you, when every call is against you. Even if they're good calls, it feels like it. Here we go again, kind of a sprint.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Good hard hit by Alex Safari.
Man, in college, that had been a target.
Yeah, gain of 5. We're going to see that again. I think number 4 is the receiver, Luke Ray. We've seen him a lot.
And he paid for this catch. 5 yards. This is tough as far.
No, it's the back out of the backfield. I'm sorry. It was 29. The running back brought that ball. That's Sawyer Kopp.
Oh, man, hit him right in the helmet.
Yeah, that's 5-yard gain out on the play. Clock is running at 1:45 to go. Milford is at the line of scrimmage.
He's got to be careful of that, and he does that
3
next year.
Yeah, 3 receivers to the right. They're going to try to throw it deep. He is open.
Wow.
Nice throw. First down inside the 20-yard line, spotted around the 17. Good throw and catch there. 46
Very
was
good
open
coverage.
on the field. That's J.P. Naylor.
Coverage on that was by Hartford, and he was open. Number 9 had him, but good catch. I mean, he put the ball right where only the Milford guy could catch it and did it. It's 1st and 10.
122 and running to go, but Milford is in scoring range here. They're just going to throw it up for grabs here, one-on-one, and boy, what a mistake.
Yes.
What a mistake. That's Josh Fusell, number 21, was looking into the backfield. They tried to run a fade, and unfortunately, the defensive back, they never got his back.
Yeah,
you'll see he's looking into the backfield, and when it's just one-on-one, the better athlete often wins this play.
Much better run maybe a slant here because you got that open field.
So if you notice what happened, the defensive back didn't open toward the defender. Right. He opened up to the quarterback, wasn't concerned about the receiver behind him. And so he was, when he was sliding with him behind him, he's looking right at the play. So
that was a huge play, though.
Really nice play.
Huge play by Fossil.
They did spot it in the end zone. He fell in the end zone as part of the play, which means 1st and 10 Lakota West, 1:15 to go at the 20-yard line. Boy, that's
so big play right there. I mean, coming away with that because Milford, had a shot. I mean, even if they get a field goal here, I mean, that's going in 14-10. That's a heck of a lot more than what anybody would have thought the score would be at half.
So see what happens here. We got Bolden back there with Good in the backfield. Bolden is back to pass. Again, we've talked about. There's a nice sliding catch by Brown. 1st down, gain of 12. So we'll see if they can get right to the line of scrimmage or if they're going to take a timeout.
Well, it should stop the clock because that was a first
for
down.
the first down until they get a respot. Oh, it was a flag at the far top of the field.
Yeah, of course there was.
Yeah, sure didn't see that one back at the line of scrimmage. See if anything happens here. Sometimes that's a spot where perhaps you were lined up wrong. No, it's just a sideline warning. Okay. So what happens in those, Dan, right? Sometimes the referee tries to run along the sideline and he bumps into somebody.
The only one that's allowed in that red area are coaches. And the officials need that red area to run up and down those sideline guys. It's real dangerous if players are standing there.
So I think we just had a Bronx cheer from the Lakota West crowd because that's the first flag in a long time on Milford. Bolden back to pass again, 1st and 10. He's going to look. Wow, he just threw that way over Brown. Brown was cutting back across the field, and it looks like he threw it straight down the seam.
Yeah, there was no way you were going to catch that. But, you got rid of the ball, so you live again. You stop the clock, 57 seconds. You got plenty of time. And you got these receivers that can get down the field and get open. So, I don't know. Maybe you run one of them deep and then come on the wheel route with somebody and hit them for some pretty good yardage.
I mean, Milford has to be worried about the deep ball. So you would think you could run a couple guys deep and maybe bring Lloyd underneath them.
Right.
And, somewhere in that middle ground, maybe get 20, 30 yards.
Kind of a wheel route out of the backfield.
So see what happens here. We're going to see a screen back to this side. Oh. Nice tipped ball. 71 again for Milford. We see him.
Having a pretty good game.
Tipped the ball up in the air. And then Good couldn't catch it. Bounced it kind of over his head. Interesting play call. We're 3rd and 10 now. But they were tried to fake the receiver, everything to the right side. And then bring just the screen out here. You see 3 offensive linemen in front of him. Might have had something there, right? I mean,
there's nobody behind it.
So big play here with 52 seconds to go. 3rd and 10 for Lakota West. I mean, you'd think they'd have to get a first down here, or they would be punting.
I think you go deep and then punt.
So here we go. Bolden is going to throw the ball, and a nice out route. See what he called out of bounds.
Down?
Nope, out of bounds.
Oh, they call okay.
Yeah, Brown did catch it, but his foot was out of bounds and couldn't even get the 1 foot in necessary.
So I imagine you're going to punt here with 47 seconds. So Milford doing a good job here.
That's a couple series in a row where they've been able to stop him. Obviously aided greatly by a couple penalties.
I guess, Brent, as I'm watching this, West is not running the football at all this half. I mean, they have not ran the football much, other than Bolden dropping back and kind of coming out of a quarterback draw or just running the ball from the pass. They've thrown the crap out of the ball.
Yeah, Good has maybe 2 runs of more than 5 yards in the entire half, and we normally see more than that from Lakota West.
Yeah, I'm guessing rushing yards came from Bolden and Bolden alone.
So here we go. Good punt. It's going to run down inside the 15-yard line, still rolling close to the 10. Really nice punt there for Lakota West from Ben Minnick. So again, Ben Minnick, we've seen him as a offense and defense, and there he is on special teams as a punter. So nice punt with 33 seconds to go here in the first half.
So if you're Milford, Brent, you just take a knee here, right, or run the ball. I don't think you try and do what East did and throw the football against this DB group, or you'll end up with a score going the other way. And
if you do anything silly, I mean, Lakota West only has 2 timeouts, so you can get out of the half.
Yes. Well, I'm just saying, 14-7 halftime is a win for Milford. I don't think anybody expected that. I think people thought they'd be down by 21 points at half, and I think you have to take this as a win and go into the locker room just only a score down.
And we also know that Milford kicked off, so they'll be receiving the ball coming out after halftime.
That's right.
So there we go, just a quick snap, and
should run out the clock.
Lakota West not doing anything either. Just everybody staying there, make sure nothing silly happens. But again, with only 2 timeouts, there's really no reason for Lakota West to use those 2 timeouts, and other than make them snap a few times.
You don't have to snap here. I mean, the play clock's at 17 and the game clock's at 3 seconds, so no reason to take a snap.
So at the end of the first half here from Firebird Stadium on the campus of Lakota West High School, it is Lakota West 14 and the Milford Eagles 7. And when we come back, Dan, they're going to get the ball.
I know it.
Welcome back to Westchester, Ohio, on the campus of Lakota West High School at Firebird Stadium for the second half of tonight's matchup, second round playoff matchup between the Lakota West Firebirds and the Milford Eagles. Lakota West leads 14-7 and will be kicking off to start the half. Dan, what did the stats show us? What happened in that first half?
Well, the stats show us very clearly penalties killed Lakota West. I mean, 80 yards in penalties and on critical downs. It allowed, Milford to extend drives, and that ball was touched.
Yeah, so he picks the ball up inside his own 5-yard line, but he does have a nice gain.
Yeah.
Brings the ball out past the 20, close to the 23, 24-yard line. So that was really a nice return after what looked like might have been real problems. See that one again.
As you see, he comes up, runs hard though. He gets as much as he can, breaks a couple tackles, and was able to get up to the 20, 25-yard line. So good starting position for Milford that finds itself only 7 points down. And West has got to get these penalties cleared up. As we talked about, Brent, 80 yards is like a good running back. I mean, that's like a fullback that gains, 80 to 100 yards. That's tough. And West stopped them. They have no statistic over 80 yards other than penalties.
So here they are back starting first and 10, Natwan Webster with the handoff. He was the leading rusher for Milford in the first half with 10 yards.
10 yards, yeah. Well, they got 71 total passing yards, and they've got, 20-some yards rushing, 23.
22. 13
22,
carries
yes.
for 22 yards.
So they're not doing really much. West is allowing them in the game with the penalties.
So the first play right on cue, one yard on the run. So it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 25-yard line. Harden back to throw, throws it across the middle, had an open receiver. Looked like that was number 4, Luke Ray, who's had some catches in the first half.
Threw behind him.
But he threw behind him on the ground. He actually had 2 catches for 20 yards in the first half.
Yeah, that was actually number 1, I think, the intended receiver on that for Milford. It was not 4 was out to the split out to the wide side of the half, so I can't see that. You got the
number 1 would be Landon Wisby.
Landon Wisby was the intended receiver, but he threw behind him. So West, another big down here, 3rd and 9, not where Milford wants to be. West with 2 sacks in the first half and really 100 rushes. Every time he was back to throw, he was under pressure.
So here we go. Big play here early for Milford. See if they can make something happen.
Webster
back out of the backfield, just goes out in motion. And same kind of play. There they are again. Completed to number 4, who we talked about, Luke Ray. And if you notice what they did, they moved the back out of the backfield to the right. Just to hold the run, the defenders enough for number 4, Luke Ray, to come underneath and advance. Gained 8 on the play, which makes it 4th and 1.
Yeah, the outside linebacker had to go.
Looks like they're going to go for it here. So big play early inside their own 35-yard line. Milford lines up to go for it on 4th and a long one.
Going for broke early, unless they're trying to get him to jump. I'm guessing jump. I can't imagine he'll snap the ball here.
Still 15 seconds on the play clock. We'll see what they do here. Kind of an interesting call, that's for darn sure. They turn like they're going to try to run a play. 9 seconds to go. They do snap it. Quarterback back to throw. Throws the ball complete to number 7 for the first down.
Wow,
big play. Reese Davis.
That was a gutsy call there. Good call. I mean, hit Reese Davis with their leading receiver for about 2 yards. Got the first down. But, boy, they don't get the first down there. They pretty much put the game away.
So there you go. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line for Milford. Back to, and there's the tough thing when you go for it on 4th down like that. You still have to have a lot of success for that to mean anything. So here they go. Quarterback scrambles. He is going to advance the ball, going to mark it around the 42-yard line. So again, about 4. But you know what I'm saying? That's the problem, right? You get the first down, you're excited.
Yeah.
You still have to get 2 or 3 more first downs before it even means anything.
Or a big play.
So, and where the risk on that play is pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go again with a 2nd and 6 for Milford. And the thing about the penalties, I mean, it feels frustrating. It feels one-sided because it is 7-0. But we do know a couple of they were definitely penalties. So now what it doesn't mean is that the other team didn't have any penalties that weren't called, or the fact that they always seem to be called on key plays. Here we go. Quarterback Harden is going to bring the ball around. Wow, he slowed down and put his shoulder over because
he became the nail and the hammer and the nail.
He saw the hammer coming.
He saw the hammer coming, so he tucked his shoulder down and rode it out of bounds.
I couldn't tell from here, but I think he closed his eyes before the impact. It looked like one of those.
I closed mine.
So loss of 1 on the play. It'll be 3rd and a long 5 for Milford. Still inside their own 45-yard line.
And much to your point, if you don't get it here, do you go for it again?
I mean, if it's 4th and 5, no. He back to pass. He's going to throw the ball. Knocked away.
Incomplete. Yep.
Close call there, right? I mean, I was a little nervous for Lakota West that right arm might be around the guy. He came around with the left hand to knock it away. I think that's Hartford again. Number 9 will see it.
Yes. Nice job.
And that's
actually,
on
nice
Davis.
Play.
Yeah, really nice play. You just always worry about that right arm because is it turning the guy a little bit? It can lay right. It can be sitting there,
you can
touching
lay
him,
on it,
but if he turns the guy's body,
yes.
they won't now. So good play defensively by Hartford, and they are going to punt here on 4th and 5. And this is my point about going for it that last time.
Yep.
You're right. You have a big play that meant
nothing.
6 yards for your punting. Back to punt. Ball's kicked away pretty high. Lloyd's going to catch it on the run at the own 24-yard line. We're going to get a penalty right off the bat. There's Lloyd taking it long. Looks like he's gone.
He's gone. It's unfortunate because it's coming back.
It's coming. Imagine that. We did see earlier that there was an interception returned by Minnick for 30 yards.
Yep. And that turned out coming back the other way for unsportsman. This one's going to be a holder block in the back. It's going to bring it all the way back.
So, and it looks like now, good news for Lakota West. It looks like it was not a penalty. Was
that the beanbag? Maybe.
I'm not sure what he.
Doesn't it look like a flag to you?
There was something thrown on the square, but
it's still laying there.
Congratulations, great play by Trent Lloyd. I mean, ran that ball on the move to the right, circled around the first level of defenders, cut it all the way back to the left for a 75-yard punt return.
I would bet that's still. It looks like a flag. Did it drop out of his pants or something?
I'm not sure what it is, but needless to say, it's now Lakota West. With Lakota West 21, Milford 7, and that was Hannah Duncan with the kick. It's good. So, boy, we weren't very excited about that great return because we saw something come out right there at the place where he caught the ball.
But he must have thrown the beanbag there where he caught the ball. But it looked like a flag, and it still looks like a flag landing on the field, but it apparently is not, obviously.
And it really, now that we look at it, looks orange or red more than it looks yellow. So, well, wow. Well, that's huge for Lakota West, right?
Big.
So let's think about this. Milford comes out. They go for it on 4th. They get it. They can't take it even another first down after that. They delayed the punt a few plays, but thought he had a decent punt. But, boy, twin safeties for Lakota West. Yep. Lloyd with the good hands again caught it. And next thing you know, it's a 14-point Lakota West lead, still 9:07 to go.
Special teams guy you're trying to kick away from Afari because he's the guy that's had a couple punt returns for touchdowns. And now Lloyd, as we can't talk much better about Lloyd. He's done such a great job, and now he's made a difference in the special teams and scores a touchdown and really helps West.
So here is Bond lining up to kick for Lakota West. So for that quickly, the second time Tyler Bond will be kicking off. Kicks the ball deep in the the return man.
Touchback.
Actually, it looked like he made it, but he's going to run it right up the field.
I thought the ball got to the end zone. It was supposed to be a touchback, and I think he's waving it off in the back judge there.
Yeah, interesting enough there, but another nice return. I tell you, that has been an area that they've been pretty good at.
He's in the end zone. There he goes. He's blown it dead.
He's definitely in the end zone. So the only thing I can imagine there is the ball didn't get in the end zone. His feet were, but the ball was in front of him. And so that he stopped it short of the end zone. He returns the ball out almost to the 30-yard line. Looks like it's going to be 1st and 10 for Milford from the 28-yard line.
Yeah, the ball must not have crossed.
So another 27-yard return there. So pretty good return. And they've had some, they have some nice return stats here. I mean, Taj Price, 19 for 330. And Jackson Stickle, 12 for 299 this year. So that's been a pretty good area for them. Now, nice run right up the middle. Gained about 4 again. Now the negative of having a really good kick return statistics, and we'll see this play again.
Means you're giving up touchdowns.
Quarterback is just going to hand the ball off to his left, right up the middle. A nice gain there running the ball. And that was number 29 Sawyer Kopp running it. Here we go again. Harden back to pass. He looks to his left and then tries to come back there. See if it's a clean play. Good defense there. Looks like number 13 Minnick involved in breaking that play up. Kind of came over the top of the receiver. You always get a little nervous on those also, but it's going to be 3rd and 6. The thing, what I was going to say earlier, the one thing to think about with Milford and the kick returns, their losses this year, 35-0 to Lakota East, 40-13 to Winton Woods, 35-7 to Anderson, and 24-20 to Lebanon. So they gave up a lot of points in those losses.
They did. So there a lot of kickoff returns.
So here we go again. Big play again. 3rd and 6 for Milford.
Looked like they were trying to get the ball out to the running back in the flat that time, but West, outside linebacker, came out and did a good job covering that.
Good protection. Almost intercepted, and if he could have caught it, could have caught it and kept his feet, would have been a touchdown.
It would have easily been a touchdown.
But there was a little bit of a tie-up between he and the receiver. I think that probably made it pretty challenging. The guy's right under his legs. Right there, you could tell him he tried to jump over the receiver to get to the ball.
Yeah, that was touchdown.
So that was a tough play, but a nice play. Good stop for Lakota West. 4th and 6, and it looks like Milford's going to be punting again. I see Lloyd, and it looks like we're going to have Lloyd and Brown back to return again.
Is it Brown or is that Afari? No,
looks like Brown. Yeah. So we'll see what happens here. If Milford can make something happen on this punt. Obviously, the last punt was really a backbreaker. Snaps a little tough, almost blocked, might have been touched. We'll see. Ball's not going to go very far. Lloyd.
He wants another one.
There's Lloyd, and you're right, Dan. So we now see it from the official. He is throwing a mark of where the ball, where it started.
Right.
So that is definitely what happened. That's what
I don't
know if it touched him. Did it hit him?
It looked like it did.
We'll see a little closer here.
It's hard to tell, but by the reaction of the ball, it looks like it touched him.
And either it hit him or the punter was in such fear of the fact that the guys are right in his face that it was a pretty short punt. Ball was bouncing around just past the midfield into Lakota territory. Lloyd, with the good hands, grabbed the ball. We've said that a lot today, but grabbed the ball, even though he only advanced it 2 yards, kept it from rolling. 1st and 10, Lakota West at the 50-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Tom go for the kill shot here and run a – here's another. That is definitely a penalty.
Yeah, and definitely Goods' best carry so far. I'm thinking this might be a sideline warning and then a late flag. So I think the first one is a sideline warning against Lakota West. It looked like the official ran into some people in the red area there. At the end of the play, I think we're going to find that to be unsportsmanlike
for somebody.
On Tegra Shaboa, it looks like at the end of the play. Hit somebody pretty hard. I'm thinking it was one of those where it's either, the play was, was over at this point. So we'll see what they have.
Yeah, Shaboa does not look happy, so it looks like they're probably calling it on him.
So we'll see for sure. 2 flags on the play. See the calls here. It definitely against Lakota West. They've moved back. So they're sure of that. So the sideline warning against Lakota West was the first one, which is non-yardage. And then a dead ball penalty, a personal foul against Lakota. And that was on 77, Tegra Shaboa. So it actually becomes it'll be a first down for Lakota West, and actually of one of those weird things in football, a 1st and 9.
It's after the play.
So it's going to be 1st and 9.
Yes, because they go back 15 yards from where the penalty was.
So we'll see this again here. There's
so
Good
it's dead ball, so it's a first down.
So Good with his best run of the day. So here we go. Yeah, 1st and 10 called. There's Good trying to run around the right side. Nice tackle, but he did gain almost 4 yards on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 6 for Lakota West, still in Milford territory.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Tom hasn't dropped back and gone deep trying to get a kill shot here, because with the punt return and our touchdown, 28-7, it'd be about done, because I don't think Milford's got the horsepower to score 4 or 5 touchdowns.
So Mitch Bolden back in the shotgun, as we see most of the time here. Takes the snap. He's going to hand the ball off to the left side to Good. Good makes a nice cut back. He's going to get another 5. It's going to be 3rd and 1 at the 40-yard line of Milford for Lakota West. The other side of that is this where, as a coach, you're frustrated. You just are telling your team, you're a lot bigger than them. Please just run the ball down the field. Use up 3-4 minutes, get a touchdown. Let's not have penalties. Let's not get all these things
Either
happening.
way puts the game away. A quick touchdown or, like you said, a long drive.
Nice hole there, and it looks like Good.
Go.
We'll see if they can bring him down, and he's into the end zone.
Yep, touchdown.
Really nice run. Cam Good right up the middle, went through there like he was shot out of a cannon.
And not touched. I mean, what a great offensive line blocking. I mean, he was not touched until he got to the end zone.
So they're a young man with a nice run, and really, I mean, he was held pretty much in check in that first half. He was 4 carries for 19 yards.
Look at the hole, though. I mean, he was not even touched until he got to the goal line.
Nice block there. We saw at the very end with number 55, who was driving. That's Eric Cifuentes, driving him down the defender downfield. You see it there, 71. He was moving, and once Good gets down the middle, he wasn't going to be denied. They did get a hand on him. kind of an odd extra point is good, but kind of an odd. The guy just slapped at the ball,
right? Trying
and
to knock
didn't
it
even
out.
try to tackle. I mean,
No.
potentially could have tackled him within 2 yards. Now, surprised Coach Bolden isn't out there getting his player off the field. Tegra Shaboa, who got that 15-yard penalty, is having a conversation with the official,
Right.
and that usually doesn't help.
No, although it seems kind of calm, and the guy's trying to explain to him, coachable moment, right?
Yeah. So,
This is why you got the flag on you, big fella.
and I'm assuming it's either he's mad about that he got the call, or somebody did something to him and didn't get a call.
Yeah.
But here we go. Wow. So with 6:57 to go, so I tell you what, in 5 minutes and 3 seconds of this half, the world has changed, right?
Yes.
From 14-7, Milford getting the ball, and even early in that for the second half, they got
Went
that
for a
fourth
fourth
down
down.
conversion. They got it. The last 3 minutes have been all Lakota West. 2 touchdowns, 28-7.
And the defense carrying the load like they have all year. I mean, the defense shuts them down after the fourth down conversion, makes them punt, which turns into a touchdown on the punt return. And then the defense shuts them down again and gives the offense good field position, and they go down and score again to make it a 28-7 ball game, and kind of where we thought this might be. Was really surprised to see 14-7 at half.
Now this is kind of an interesting approach here. Lakota West lining up for like an onside kick or a pooch, one of these little
And he does
pop-up
pooch
kicks.
it.
And, it's interesting. I mean, ball is loose.
Wow.
Well, I'm not positive if Milford, it's a loose ball, obviously.
It looks like Milford got it.
Once
but
it gets 10 yards downfield,
it's a live ball.
kind of interesting. And, we joked a little bit about Milford and their kick returns, and it is Milford's ball. We joked a little bit about them and their kick returns, but that is pretty,
That's a pretty effective deal right there.
so I can see why Lakota West has been a little bit, trying to change it up from
Yep.
the kick-off team.
And that was a great kick by
Just high,
high
angled.
and didn't, and they almost got down there and got it. I mean,
And
that was very close to getting the ball.
Yeah, the ball backed up a little bit when it hit. I think the fielder thought it was going to bounce to him.
Looked
and,
like your wedge shot there, just like a little backup.
Of course, the fun. I mean, right? We oft used point. This ball isn't round.
No, it's not near
Right
round.
on a baseball field on turf, it
Right.
would have bounced right to him.
Yep.
It doesn't work that way.
It
Not
doesn't
with a
work that way in
football.
football. That oblong ball is just, it can bounce
It
anywhere.
has points on it.
Yes, it does.
So here we go again with 6:53 to go, third quarter. Lakota West 28, Milford Eagles 7, and Milford is still back out there. We see Austin Harden, number 9 at quarterback. He's going to take the snap. He's going to have a couple of receivers went short, and then number 46 went long. So, they're trying to do some different things. They're trying to move some of the, receivers, have them go sideways and different things to try to, confuse a little bit the Lakota West defensive backfield, but
Not working.
it's really just throw the ball up for grabs, right? One-on-one.
Yeah, and they're going one-on-one. It looks like West is running one-on-one coverage because they know they've got such good defensive backs that can cover these guys. They don't have to worry about somebody beating them long or beating them because they're just such good cover guys.
And that's tough to do against Lakota West,
Yes.
right? A one-on-one out athlete.
Not a good situation for any team to be is need to throw the ball against
Quarterback
West.
back to throw, throws the ball. Wow, nice defense from Lakota West. See who actually got there. That was Ray was the intended receiver. Looks like Minnick 13 was involved in the play.
West defensive backfield, all of them make great plays. I can see why they're all going to the next level because it's obvious they're just so much better.
We'll
than
see this from
most
behind the
people.
quarterback there. There's Harden, looks to his right, throws the ball.
Nice recovery.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, the receiver was there, got his hands on it, but
Went for the ball, didn't interfere.
But the defender came right through it, and with
Just
Minnick
great
there,
coverage.
good coverage. 3rd and 10.
Very impressed with this defensive backfield.
So there we go. We've seen this. Natwan Webster went out as a receiver. A couple times he's come underneath. See if they try to do something a little bit different here. Timeout, Milford.
Looks like Milford's got 4 receivers to the left side.
Yeah, and one to the right.
One to the downside, yeah.
Um,
Which will get you one-on-one coverage to the guy at the backside, but I don't know if that's an advantage.
That's the challenge today for Milford is the quarterback's he's done all right, but he doesn't seem to have the arm to really zip it in there. So therefore, whenever he throws it very far downfield, it's kind of a jump ball.
Yeah, I think the best, like I said, getting the ball out into the flat or throwing underneath has been their kind of bread and butter, and getting them, the yards, the 71 yards they had in the first half. So, I mean, they need to kind of go back to that. But trying to throw deep up against West is a losing battle. That's just not going to help them. There's more chance of the West guy getting the interception or getting the ball than your guy.
Now, what's been interesting is in the first half, Lakota West had a very successful passing game, 9 for 15 for 129 yards and a touchdown.
Right.
They actually could have had another touchdown that glanced off the hands of Afari. That would have been a whatever it was, 70-yard touchdown. But it looks like in this half, Lakota West is like, you know what, we need to run the ball.
Put this game away.
Right. They got more rushing yards, I think, on the first drive. Yeah, they had 50 yards rushing, and they only had 48 in the first half.
Right.
So here we go, quarterback scramble, and that's not good. Ball's
loose.
On
the ground.
And there it is. So it is a first down for Lakota West.
Did a flag go down?
No, that's again the beanbag that it was the change of possession.
I saw something come in. It's really confusing me because it almost looked a flag, but you're right. It's just a beanbag.
So
from where the fumble was.
The difference is what they're using as the beanbag isn't the traditional beanbag, right? Usually the beanbag just kind of plops there. Mm-hmm. This has like a little bit of a flag to it, even though it is orange.
Right.
So there you go. You're going to see the replay there. You're going to see.
She kind of come from the back there. You'll see the
good
guy
pressure. I
throw
see 11 Asbeck and 99 Henderson there.
See, there it was.
Brown.
It just came in.
Yep.
And
that's
that
Brown,
looks like
number
a
one,
flag.
with the fumble recovery. But yet it is, now we've seen it a number of times, it's marking the change of possession or the loose ball. Here goes Bolden rolling out to his right. He's going to throw it to the end zone. Open receiver. Touchdown, Lakota West.
Wow.
And let's guess, that would be number 4, Trent Lloyd.
Trent Lloyd again.
So a nice job of extending the play from Bolden.
Wesley Walker, number 2.
Nice job extending the play.
Walker.
And then as he rolled to the right, he was, he's able to find him in the back of the end zone. And at 6'2", 200, Mitch Bolden has a strong enough arm to get the ball there. You can see he's throwing this about
to his right,
27 yards, kind of off his side saddle.
Yeah, and puts it right on the spot.
Puts it right there, and there's Trent Lloyd.
Trent
did a nice job, didn't he? Right.
Yeah. I can't just say enough about him. I mean, he's not listed with, hey, he's our superstar, but he's as big a part of this offense as anybody out there. I mean, he is such a good weapon to have. No. I mean, he can run the jet sweep. He can run, underneath routes. He can run the deep route. He ran it deep out there for a touchdown. I mean, how do you defend him? Yeah. And what do you defend him with?
And Hannah Duncan there puts the 35th point on the board for Lakota West. 6:24 to go. They lead Milford Eagles 35-7. But you're right. He had 5 catches and 42 yards in the first half. There's at least another catch here for whatever it was, 20-some yards and a touchdown. So Trent Lloyd has definitely been that's his second touchdown of the game.
Well, Brent, I'm telling you, I think I can hear the fat lady singing. But you know why I can hear the fat lady singing? There's no band here. How can we be in the second round of the playoffs and there's no band from Lakota West here? I'm sorry for you band parents listening to this, but I think you got to have the band at a football game. It's just not the same.
I know the band traveled to Utah for some kind of large band competition. I don't know exactly what the dates were, but sometime this week, and they may still be there.
Yeah.
As you know, Lakota West band is renowned. They're not just a pep band.
Well, if I'm the administrator of this school, I don't let them go on stuff we know we're going to be in the playoffs 2 weeks after the season, so you make sure the band doesn't go to competitions then. I'm sorry, Brent. I mean, I'm probably making a bunch of band people hate me, and they'll probably firebomb my house, but I'm telling you got to have the band at a football game. I hear they weren't here last week either. Tyler
Bond does the same thing again. A pop ball is loose again.
Wow.
I think Milford recovered it, or it might have
got out of bounds.
We'll see if it's out of bounds. Lakota West thinks they have it. Penalty is called. Oh, what's interesting? They sure throw those balls high, or the penalties high today, don't they?
They sure do.
So we'll see exactly what happens. It looked like Lakota West must have got the ball. Can't tell because of where the team is whether or not the ball was already on the end line.
This is a pretty effective kick, though.
So the ball hits the ground.
I mean, that ball is hitting the ground just as the Lakota West kids are getting there.
And it looked so the Milford guy jumped on the ball. The Lakota West guy hit him. The ball came loose. And there you can see Lakota West walking right through him. And then the Milford guy
pushed back.
Milford guy pushed. So let's see if it's the infamous.
Is it the second push or was it the guy walking through him? Both probably deserve a penalty.
So we'll see here. But it appears to be Milford ball. And then we have a dead ball. Of course, that's the personal foul against Milford.
So they caught the
second
infamous
guy.
Second push. Because the West guy does get him up and, push him or walk into him or, create the contact.
So Milford will have to start 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. So that kick's been fairly effective.
It's been real fast. I mean, that ball, the West, defenders are getting almost to where the ball's hitting the ground. You almost need a fair catch that.
So we're going to see the penalty again here. So you can see the guy comes in and then he throws a push back at Lakota West, but
right, that's
certainly it definitely is a penalty, but Lakota West certainly instigated a bit.
On, yes.
But hey, after the first half, perhaps West was due for a couple calls to kind of turn their way.
I'm wondering if they're kind of evening up the calls, or that's 15 yards when they had 0 up until the second half.
So it will be 1st and 10 for Milford, down 28 points on their own 16-yard line. So, this is getting out of hand fast.
Yes.
So
Milford, if they want any chance of winning this football game, has to score on this thing. And you got another flag, 80 feet in the air.
So there's a jet sweep that looks like it's a loss of about 6. Number 1, we talked to earlier, Landon Wisby, came across on the jet sweep, and there were 3 black jerseys back there. So you're going to see it here. There's coming from the outside, and by the way, there's Asbeck and Henderson and everybody else saying, okay.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
Penalty was against Milford again, so it's kind of like the inverse of the first half, right? Every call is
it's declined,
going against Milford, but obviously with a loss of 6 on the play, they're going to take the play, not the penalty.
It brings up second down and about 16.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going to make it 15. They're going to spot him at the 11. He got engulfed somewhere on the 11 and blasted back past the 10, but I guess that must be his the proper spot. So we'll see what happens here. If you're Milford, boy, what do? Austin Harden's looking out to the left, throws the ball back across the middle, incomplete. One nice play design they've done here, right, is they do have some receivers going sideways,
right,
which spreads the field, freezes the defense, and then they bring some guys across him in the middle. He doesn't have a really strong arm.
Well, they're bringing him back out of the outfield, and you see the outside linebacker going with him, which creates some space in there. But they're not really going to where he's vacating.
So that was 11 Asbeck there with a little bit of pressure. So we're going to be 3rd and 15 yards for Milford from their own 16. Again.
Maybe a reverse. There's a lot of flow.
But, this is scary because, if they punt it, Lakota West is likely to get it inside their territory. And, with the way it's gone, that could be way inside their territory. Quarterback just going to turn and run around the right side trying to get something. He maybe gained a yard on the play out to the 12. There's the challenge. Number 9, the quarterback, Austin Harden, is a little bit slow getting up. He's just not as fast as the defenders.
He does not have the speed to outrun Lakota West defenders to the outside, and he's just swallowed up by about half the team.
So here we go. They're gonna obviously be forced to punt.
Yeah, inside their own 15-yard line.
Yeah, they're at the 14. It looks like is where they maybe end up spotting it. Even further inside than that, right?
13,
it looks like they're gonna spot at the 12, maybe. Yeah. So punters back to punt. Both 2 safeties for Lakota West.
Almost blocked it last couple times.
And it is, and it's off somebody's back. Actually, one of the linemen for Milford picks the ball up off the player.
But blocked.
Yeah, so it'll be Lakota West ball somewhere inside the 15-yard line.
And I was wondering because West
we'll see it again
really close to blocking it, and they're good from the outside.
So there comes Hartford, number 9.
Hartford, and gets it.
He does get it. And then it goes off Henderson, I think 99, up into the air. And number 54 for Milford grabs it in the air. And it's tackled at the 14-yard line. So, wow. So
now, Brent, I have a question. Had that ball gone forward past the first down and Milford recover it, would it be their ball? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so.
That's not a change of possession.
So here we go. Bolden back in there, up 28 points. Going to hand the ball off to Good. Looks like Good's going to try to bounce it. Nice little jitterbug move.
Wow,
still on his feet. Has the ball inside the 5. We'll see the spot touchdown.
Well, that was all Cameron Good.
That was, 2 touchdowns here for Cameron Good in this half. That was a really nice run. He wanted that one.
Yes, he did. That was all Cameron Good. He broke tackles, sidestep, weave, dodge. It was not. That was the one time it wasn't the offensive line. This was all Cameron Good. Ran over Mitch Bolden. Get out of my way, Mitch. Cut there.
Back inside
get off. Nice stiff arm. Nice stiff arm again. And there he goes.
And this is it. From the 7-yard line on, there's at least 3 guys holding on him, and he does not let go or to go down until he gets in the end zone.
Wow, that was the guy that wanted a touchdown.
So from a 14-7 game late in the second quarter, with Milford having the ball inside the 20-yard line of Lakota West. There's now 4:35 to go into the third quarter, and we'll have a running clock
42,
at 42 to 7.
Yes. Crazy. I mean, just a crazy second half. I mean, West came out. I'm not sure what Bolden said to him, but I want some of that, whatever it was, because they came out. West came out with a dead seriousness to them and just played. Haven't had any penalties. They cut the penalties out. And Milford kind of jumped on the penalty train a little bit here in the second half. But West really regrouped it and said, what are you doing? You know, you've let this team believe you can play with us. And they came out and proved you can't.
So in the 7 minutes and 25 – so think about this. We're 7 minutes, 25 seconds into the third quarter. Mm-hmm. Lakota West kicked off.
Yes.
So Milford had the ball. Milford actually even got a first down.
Right.
And
on a fourth down.
In that period of time, Lakota West has put 28 on the board.
I know. Just phenomenal explosion from West.
2 really nice runs by Good.
Yeah. One thing I want to take time to is to thank Texas Roadhouse, Brent, for feeding us here at halftime. Did a great job. Texas Roadhouse on Tylersville did such a really good job of catering the press box tonight and made a lot of people happy tonight.
Amen. That was very, very, very appreciated.
So please, you listeners, go Texas Roadhouse and do our sponsors as we get this little pooch kick again.
So see what happens this
catch
time. Fair catch.
Oh my God, he almost caught it in the ground.
So that's actually a penalty.
Well, it went 10 yards, didn't it?
But they signaled a fair catch. You interfered with his ability to make a fair catch. So smart play by Milford. Yes. To signal the fair catch. At that point, it takes away your ability to make a play on the ball.
To make a play on the ball. And, that's what I said before in the last ones. You almost have to fair catch the ball to be safe on that because they're arriving when the ball's hitting the ground.
What a great kick that Lakota West was able to touch the ball first.
Yes.
15 yards downfield, 20 yards downfield.
It's an effective onside kick.
And
especially if you're not ready for that. If you do that sometime when you have to do an onside kick, that would be effective.
So that's kick-catch interference.
Yes.
We'll see it here, but what happens, you're going to see right there, you see the very bottom of the screen, he raises his hand, calling the fair catch.
So it's his ball.
Number 4 is going to try to get it. And there's Alex Safari, number 2, actually out-jumps the ball.
Yes.
Touches the ball first.
And they recovered anyway, but the bottom line was, yes, you're right. But that's pretty effective because you're right. Milford was returning the ball pretty deep. So they went to that, and it's worked out pretty good. They've almost come up with a couple turnovers.
And this allows them to start the ball at midfield. So 1st and 10 Milford from midfield after the 15-yard penalty on Lakota West. Again, that's one of those weird plays. How often do you see the guy fair catch and you can get to the ball before he does?
Right.
So he didn't hit the fielder first. No. He hit the ball before the guy had a chance to field it.
Yeah, I didn't see the guy call him fair catch, but that was effective for Milford to do that. Good coaching.
So here we go. They're going to nice
go.
Play. That is number 4.
Little shovel pass.
So they fake the ball to the left, and it's actually a pass, right? The shovel as number 4. Yep. Luke Ray comes across from the left side.
Yeah.
Advances it for a nice gain. He's going to gain it down about.
That was a good play. Good call.
Gain of about 18, 17.
Because he's getting in kind of behind the rush.
So we'll see it there. A little bit of a misdirection or counter action between the two guys.
Good blocking on the Milford part.
And it looks like he's tackled out of bounds there by Aiden Miller.
Yep, and the lineman didn't go downfield, so no lineman downfield.
1st and 10 from the
Webster
33-yard line. There's Webster with his first nice gain. I mean, he's a 750-yard rusher. You know he's had some pretty nice gains. He's been bottled up for the most part tonight.
Comes up with 11, kind of comes up gingerly. It looks like he hurt something as he's bent over.
So 2 first down plays, and again in a row coming out of the 50-yard line starting spot.
They're going to take Webster out. I think he hurt himself a little bit on that.
So 3 minutes to go. Again, running clock. Lakota West leading by 35 points here in the third quarter. So even, but wow. I mean, obviously here's a chance for Milford to, maybe to at least stop the bleeding for a bit there. Here he goes back. Screen again. Successful. There's Miller trying to bring him down. He does, but it's a gain of 9 this time. So. Yeah. Almost 10. 3 really nice plays in a row.
Yeah, that was Webster's replacement who just came into the game. Comes up with that as he goes up the middle and then he flares out.
That's Sawyer Kopp.
Yep, pretty effective there.
Sawyer Kopp, a nice run there. Is going to get the ball just inside or at the 10-yard line. 2nd and 1 for Milford at the 10.
Pretty well-designed play. It looks like he stepped up to block and he just sneaks out into the flat and nobody there.
So here's Harden again back to throw.
He's going to
scramble, going to going to get the first down. They're inside the about to the 8-yard line, so it'll be first and goal.
Cobb
for
did that
Milford.
again. If you notice it on the replay, is he did the same thing. He kind of went up like he was going to block, and then snuck out in the other flat. You'll see him kind of go right there. He's wide open. See him
He
down
was
there?
wide open across the middle.
But there was too much pressure, and Harden couldn't see him.
But Harden did gain 2, which gives him the first and goal from the 8-yard line of Lakota West from Milford here with 1:46 to go.
There's Tom Grippa calling the play.
So we'll see what they see if they can put it in the end zone.
So West not giving up 14 points a game. So Milford may be able to put some points on the board and break West's. Would they only give up 12 a game, I think.
So Kopp is right up the middle there. Or try to run it following a big man as a lead. Ball comes loose. We'll see who recovers that around the 2-yard line.
Or they stopped.
Looks like that's
Milford.
Yep, looks like it's just going to keep the clock running. Milford recovered it down around the 2-yard line, so it's going to be second and goal from the 2.
I'm surprised we haven't seen number 2 come in.
Yeah, see this play again, though. You could see a big guy leading the way there, and
Did
that
the
was
ball
actually
come out?
that's actually
No.
2 plays ago when he got the first down. That's the quarterback, Harden.
Yeah.
So here we go again. It's we'll see if we don't see the big man this time at Wildcat.
Number 2, the runner.
Harden's just going to hand the ball up to Kopp right up the middle for a touchdown.
Yeah. Cobb comes in, is big. He catches a nice pass, and now gets a touchdown on the dive play.
So with 41 seconds to go here in the third quarter, Milford back on the board, cuts the game back under 30, so the clock will be back traditional. But there we see 79 is in the backfield as a lead blocker, and Kopp just runs right up the middle there and touchdown Milford. So a nice 50-yard drive.
Yep. It looked like 79 tackled somebody, too, and did not get a holding call there because it looked like he grabbed him, take him down. Looked very much like Good's call.
There we go.
Tackle.
Snap, spot, hold, kick. Extra point good. So with 41 seconds to go, Lakota West 42, Milford 14.
Yeah, Milford played, has been in this game except for that, third quarter where, the explosion from West. But outside of that, Milford kind of held their own.
Yeah, that was a pretty challenging 7 minutes for Milford, and that's the kind of thing that a Lakota West team can do with these athletes out there.
Yeah.
I mean, Bolden obviously has had a really nice season.
Good, can run the ball
Good,
so well.
sure can run the ball. Lloyd can catch.
They've just got so many, and then you got Brown and Afari at the wide receiver position too.
The Lloyd on the punt return.
Yes.
I mean, so there's a lot of different things going here.
Many things that West can throw at you.
So, again, kind of what it now looks like what we expected it to be. Just a big Lakota West lead.
Yes.
But if you're Tom Bolden, I mean, what do you do? I mean, you can't be real happy with how things went. Now, maybe you feel like, okay, this first half was not what you wanted. You regrouped at halftime and put a pretty successful 7 minutes together.
But yeah, I mean, you look at that, but there's going to be a lot of coachable moments here, especially the penalties. I mean, he's going to get in the film room and just have a field day with these guys on penalties. I mean, you got to clean it up. You're not going to beat a St. X if you have 80 yards in penalties in the first half of that game. I mean, you're just not going to beat good teams like that.
And I think someone said St. X was up 28-7 at halftime, who would be the matchup next week.
Yeah, I mean, you're just not going to, the farther you get into the playoffs, the less and less mistakes you can make. I mean, it's too late in the season to be having 80 yards in penalties in one half.
So the kick down, picked up, caught by Hafari around the 10. He just kind of gallops out past out to the 30-yard line. Kind of pulled down out of bounds there, but it'll be 1st and 10 Lakota West around their own 30-yard line. That was Alex Hafari, number 2, with the 20-yard return.
And he did not want to come down.
He's a pretty solid young man as well.
Size-wise, yeah. And, I mean, he did a nice job. He just fought it all the way out. He was out of bounds, and he's still fighting.
Right, 6'3", 200 pounds. So he is not an easy out here. And there you go. You'll see him pulled down. And as you said,
and 2 or 3 guys on him, and he's not going to go down.
They try to rip the ball loose, and that didn't happen. So 1st and 10 for Lakota West. Looks like we still see Bolden back there to take the snap. Looks like they might bring in some coverage off the corner.
Yeah,
or blitz.
They're blitzing.
But good right up the middle. Boom.
Wow.
12 yards right up the middle.
12 quick yards. And this is what we talked about fourth quarter, that big line, starting to lean on Riesenberg and being outweighed by 20 or 30 pounds each guy.
And
although that number 77 for them looks like a big guy.
He definitely has something there. So that's a 1st and 10 for Lakota West from the 42-yard line. Looks like Lakota West is going to let the third quarter expire.
Yeah, I think West is going to try and get a steady dose of running here and just run this clock down. They don't have the running clock now that Milford brought it within 30.
So from here we are at the end of the third quarter of the second round playoff game. Lakota West 42 and Milford 14. We'll be right back. We are back to Lakota West High School for the second round playoff game between Lakota West and Milford. We'll come out to start the fourth quarter with Lakota West up 28 points, 42-14, and with a 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Brent Phelan along with Dan Zeverink. Dan, what do we got?
Well, we got West 12 minutes away from moving on to the third round of the playoffs as they ran pure option. And again, when I heard Tom Bolden was going to be the coach of Lakota West, I expected to see that a ton. I expected to see option after option after option. And that might be the first time we've seen that this game.
So the ball, it was ripped loose. So the pitch man took it for about 5 or 6 yard gain here. You're going to see this, and that's Lloyd, at which point the ball was just ripped loose.
Yes.
And it bounced back about 5 or 6 yards before Lakota West recovered it. So it actually is going to be 2nd and 9, a gain of 1 after all that.
Did that ball go out of bounds? Is that what happened?
It looked like a Lakota player jumped on it because they waved the clock to keep it running.
Okay.
So here we go, 2nd and 9 for Lakota West from the 43-yard line.
So a 1 yard gain.
Play action. Bolden back to throw. He's going to fire deep. He's got number 13 Minnick open, and he's going to walk in.
Wow.
So touchdown Lakota West.
It looks like 25 had that pretty well defended. But somehow the ball got through. It looked a little underthrown.
Yeah, a little underthrown, but Minnick was able to jump up and make the play. We'll see it here at the end.
He just won the jump ball battle, I guess.
Plenty of time here to
Look
throw
it. Yeah, he's got all kinds. The line doing a great job.
Nothing, and then he finally throws the ball pretty long. It actually was fairly well thrown distance-wise. The defender was, Minnick had him by 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah.
And the ball just was high enough that the defender couldn't jump up to get it.
I don't know if the defender would have kept running. Could he have gotten there? He looks like he stopped to try and, jump ball, intercept it, and just
missed.
Just out of his reach.
A swing and a miss, and Minnick.
So we'll call that a great thrown ball by Bolden and a touchdown.
Hannah Duncan with the kick. It's good. So like that, the running clock will restart. With Lakota West up 49-14.
Wow.
Well,
so there you go.
Wow. That's exactly it. Bolden's going to have a really nice statistical game.
Yeah, that was a 50 or 60 yard pass again. He's got 2 balls of 120 yards and 2 passes.
And we've talked about Minnick. We've seen him. I mean, he's the punter. He's a defensive player. And here he is with
catching touchdowns
with a long touchdown. So think of the guys that have gone. You've got from the secondary, right? I mean, we've seen Minnick and we've seen Hartford today.
Mm-hmm.
Brown, we haven't seen much receiving, but we have all year.
Afari
it was open, and then add to the guys that some of the guys that go out there to receive anyway,
Brent,
like Trent Lloyd.
But Brent, that's one of the things I really like about what Tom Bolden does with his team. He takes his special athletes and doesn't play them necessarily both ways all the time. He gives them breaks. It's really difficult to go both ways. But he takes them in certain circumstances, puts them at wide receiver, because they're just better athletes. So why not use them? Why not put them on offense? That's one thing that we haven't done here. We've had a lot of great athletes go through Lakota West, but we didn't normally play them both ways.
So the clock starts, and here, because it is a running clock, up this many points, Bond is there to back to it looks like a traditional kickoff.
Right.
Ball spot in the middle of the field. He's back 10 yards or 9 yards. Runs up and tries to kick it deep. It's going to actually make it to about the 4-yard line. There comes number 5, Taj Prince. He's going to have another nice return.
Yeah.
And it's relative, right? He returns it out to the 26-yard line.
Or the punch hook. Or the pooch kick lands at about the 26-yard line.
But, the thing is, we look at that, and, it was, a 22-yard return. Maybe that wouldn't be a big deal, but they haven't had much offense. They've had the last series, they had a nice 50-yard drive.
And they don't have the penalties they were getting in the first half.
They had the one drive.
There
we go.
There it is.
So there's the confusion sometimes.
Yes.
It's though it's orange.
That's a beanbag, not a penalty flag.
So there we'll see it from the 4-yard line. He returns it out
Good
to
run.
the 26. So, yeah, about 22-yard on the return.
Would have probably been a horse car attack on the pros.
So Austin Harden back. Same little thing. Again, they ran last time, kind of a misdirection or counter, except this time the guy did not get around the outside, and actually he's going to be tackled for about a 5-yard loss. That's one of those things. It worked once.
Milford just doesn't have the athletes to compete with Lakota West. They just don't. They're not a bad team. I'm not saying that any kind of slap to Milford. They just don't have the athletes.
So
Lakota West.
And it's interesting to comment that, so Milford was in the GMC in the early 2000s.
2006 was the last time they played.
The last time these two teams play. Oh, that ball, I guess it's going to be considered incomplete. I tell you, Lakota West jumped the route.
Yes.
Had a chance to try to take that
I'm
one
not
back.
sure if that was designed, but it looked like Lakota West. The play was designed for him to catch it.
So we'll just see here. Threw it from the.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, threw it forward and then was dropped by Milford. But it probably was hard to see the ball with the Lakota West guy in there.
Yes.
Yeah, so the last time these two teams played was in 2006. They had played 8 times. Mm-hmm. Lakota West had won the last 6. Milford won the first 2. The last 6 were won by West, and they got worse and worse.
Yeah.
And that's the time when Milford switched from the GMC to, at the time, the Fort Ancient Valley Conference, which is now, they're in the Eastern Cincinnati Conference, which seems to be a good fit. They got out there. They started winning some games. They've been competitive in that league.
They've been competitive in that league, and it's true. And, Mason made the jump from the Fort Ancient and came over, but Kings is in that league. That's a good league.
Yeah, Anderson, Turpin, Winton Woods is still in there for a bit.
Yeah, that's a very good league. Lebanon.
And there's, especially for a smaller school.
Right.
From that perspective, Mason was getting bigger and actually is,
massive now.
Right, and Milford wasn't, and some of these others, the East and West, and Stu Eversole, I guess, was part of kind of brokering that deal or putting that together. It's been a good, a good switch for both teams,
for both
and both leagues,
and and Milford's league. It was a smart move. Milford's very competitive in that league, but I don't think Milford would have been very competitive in the GMC.
So here we go. Milford back to punt again. It's going to be a short punt. Wow. I guess maybe the concern of getting it to Lloyd or Brown to return it, but also the pressure up the middle. This is that age-old concern when the punt is going to be not even a first down.
No.
So it actually is marked out of bounds around the 29 or 30-yard line of Milford.
My question is, if you're Tom Bolden, you put your JV in at this point.
You sure do.
Risk getting hurt.
Yeah, you definitely. Now you're up 49-14.
And it looks like
so. It's 35 points.
That.
The clock is running with 7:26. So frankly, you're probably only going to get about 2 series out of this because that clock is it just runs and runs at this.
Yeah, he went JV. The entire offensive line, the offense looks like the JV.
But I think what you do, you let them do things. You don't make them just run nothing. Let them actually run their offense. Give them a chance.
There you go.
Here you go around the outside, quick as could be. He's going to get it close to the first down. We'll see where they spot it around the 20-yard line.
But he's got some speed.
So, see who we got spotted there. Could you see if we can get a number there? Is it?
Can't quite sure who that was. Number was it? Man,
I think it's Giovanni Wilson. Is it 26, Giovanni Wilson?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, definitely some quickness. And I know we've seen him earlier this year,
yes.
Late in some games. I think maybe even last week we saw him. So, you're
you
right. Quick
Cameron
run,
Goods,
10 yards.
It looks like you're seeing the heir apparent to Cameron Good because that kid can run. He's got some speed.
So here he goes around the left side, although nothing there.
Nothing there. That looks like Riesenberg maybe.
Yeah, well, Riesenberg's knocking down the blocker there.
Yes.
It's going to be a loss of about 2 yards for Wilson on that play.
Well, varsity kids had a hard time blocking Riesenberg, and I'm sure the JV kids can have even a harder time.
And Wilson is a 5'9", 155-pound sophomore. So here you go. You could see that. They're going to throw him down, and then there's Riesenberg taking a youngster.
Throwing him down.
Number 58, that's Mike Gertz, a 6'1", 215-pound junior offensive lineman. And the starter, Riesenberg, had enough. So
he's a little frustrated right now.
Threw him down there. That 77 you mentioned earlier for Milford. I mean, he is listed at 290 pounds. So he is one gentleman out there
he's one cheeseburger away from 300.
Who has some mass. That's a run right up the middle. It looked like that was Gonzalez. Gonzalez, number 30, with the gain. He ends up gaining about 5. The 2 yards they had lost plus about 3 more. So it's going to be 3rd and 7 for Lakota West. Clock down to 5:23 to go. West holding to a 35-point lead. See the spread formation here. You do have 2 backs in the backfield along with the quarterback. We're going to hand the ball over to the right side again. Oh, he
slips.
Wilson ran out of his own his own feet, got his feet out from under him, and he's going to be.
Who's that quarterback? Is that 15?
That is 15. We've seen him a couple times this year. Nolan Parker.
Nolan looks really little. How old is he?
Nolan is, boy, that's a good question. Let me check it out. Nolan Parker is a 5'8", 150-pound sophomore.
I was going to say, he's not quite filled out yet. He's a pretty small kid out there.
So Wilson with a loss of 1 on that one. His feet slipped out from under him, which is going to make it 4th and 7, 4:37 and counting to go here. See what kind of play Lakota West tries to do. Are they just going to try to run it, or are they going to let him throw the ball here? See if Nolan Parker can make something happen here. 4th and 7. Why not? You've went with a complete, second group. So actually they're going to let him try to keep it going to the right side, and he's thrown for a loss, which will be a first down for Milford. So Milford, we still see a lot of their first group out there. They were able to stop Lakota West after that first nice gain. They got 1 first down and we're stopped. So here we go.
Yeah,
Clock
we're
still
down
runs.
Under 4 minutes. So and time is against Milford.
And we definitely have a second group out here on defense as well for Lakota West. See who comes out to play offense for Milford,
which is great. You're getting some other kids, some state playoff experience. On the varsity side of things. I mean, no matter what it is or the score or anything, you're getting them in the game and they're getting some playing time. And their season's over for the most part. I mean, JV's done. There is no state playoffs for the JV teams.
So here we go. Milford coming out with 3:30 to go. It does look like we see some substitutes out here for Milford. It looks like number 10, perhaps, at quarterback. We'll see if we can get an eye on him. It looks like Luke Barkamere, a 6'1", 175 sophomore. Going to hand the ball right up the middle. Center of the Lakota West defense involved. I see 45.
Maybe that's a suggestion I'll give to Stu. Maybe the JV should continue on for the state games. Because you're in practice getting your brains beat out by seniors, and there's no benefit. You don't get to play a game on Saturday anymore. You're just out there getting, you're the dummies for the varsity.
So linebacker 45, Nathan Hunt, was involved in that tackle. He's a 5'10", 165-pound junior. So here we go again. Number 7 for Milford is going to bring the jet sweep. Coming around, he's going to have a nice gain there. It's going to be close to the first down. See what the spotted. That's number 7, Reese Davis. Reese is their leading receiver, but he is also a sophomore, so he probably is in this group maybe doing a little bit more running and some different things where he's a receiver on the on the starting group. So that is going to be a first down and 10 at the 30-yard line. 2:17 in running. Lakota West still up 49-14. And we do get a final score, Dan, if you want to comment on that.
St. X beat Elder 42-7, so not much of a game there.
So it looks like we're going to see a matchup next week in Week 13. That's going to match the first week of the season between Lakota West and St. X.
And the regional playoff game last year where X beat them on the final play of the game and then went on to win the state.
So a quick play there from Milford. Another first down. Advance the ball out to the 42-yard line. Again, clock still running, 1:43.
And Brent, do you know where that game will be held at?
No, it will be a neutral site.
Right.
So we don't know for sure where that could be. You suspect places like Princeton tend to get some of those. That would be, when Lakota West trips in toward the city and it's a larger facility.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens here. Quarterback pump fake. He's going to try to throw it deep, and it ends up not.
He throws it short.
Yeah, he thought he had his guy deep, and I guess thought better of it, threw it short, and gains about 3 or 4 on the play. So 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I guess they'll release that information when that game is, and hopefully we'll see a lot of people out for that game. I mean, that's a replay of, like I said, the regional finals last year, and big game. Number 2 and number 1 through most of the season playing each other, and West owes St. X something because they beat them in the first week.
So here we go, under a minute to go. Milford 2nd and 7. They're going to try the jet sweep around the outside again. There's going to be stopped for maybe a gain of a yard.
Yeah, West had some penetration there and kind of blew that play up early.
Number 7, Reese Davis. I do see 14, Brennan Reamy, involved in the play. I see 22. That would be Tyler Shipman, also involved in that. So we see some sophomores out there making plays.
Yeah.
See if it looks like Milford probably will get one more play off here with 21 seconds to go, clock running. See what they do. They're
you got to go deep.
Yeah,
here,
I would be surprised if you would. You'd certainly think you'd run a play. We're at 10 seconds. 4 receivers, 2 and 2. See what happens here with 6 seconds to go.
Yeah,
they do get the snap off.
Everybody to go back.
Quarterback's going to roll out, see if he can get around the edge in order to throw the ball.
That's a
He's
jailbreak.
not. He's going to run it out of bounds. That'll be the loss of 2. And Lakota West is going to move on to that rematch with St. X.
49-14 is your score. So good game, and we'll see you next week, hopefully.
Good night, everybody.